From John Rada Stadium at beautiful historic Henley Field in downtown Lakeland, Florida, welcome to Florida Southern College Baseball. Tonight, a very special night for the Mocs as they take on their longtime rivals, the University of Tampa Spartans, in a Sunshine State Conference game. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jim Henderson. Happy to be here with you for what should be an outstanding and kind of an epic battle between the Mocs and Spartans, and it's one of two big reasons that tonight is going to be special. Let's look at this first one. Florida Southern just had a 14-game winning streak snapped on Wednesday night by Indiana University of Pennsylvania. It was a 13-7 final score. The Mocs are 16-5, 3-0 in Sunshine State Conference play with a whole lot of conference games still to go. In this past week, they were ranked number 19 in the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association poll. They are also tied for third in the Writers Association South Region poll. And, of course, at the end of the year, it's the region poll by the NCAA that makes all the difference in the world. Their opponents, the University of Tampa, 17-4 overall. They are 6-0 right now in Sunshine State Conference play, and they are the second-ranked team in Division II college baseball in the United States, as voted by the baseball writers, and they also atop the South Region poll. They are also, like the Mocs, though, coming off a loss. They lost to number 22 Valdosta State of the Gulf South Conference on Tuesday night over at Sam Bailey Field. So two teams that have been playing really, really well so far this season are both coming off losses here for tonight's opening game. It'll be a single game here tonight with a start time around 6 p.m., and we are on a little bit early tonight because of the other big reason why we are here this evening, and that is to celebrate the alumni here at Florida Southern College as part of a big homecoming weekend that is taking place on the campus this weekend. And now, tonight, we are going to celebrate not only some Mocs alumni, but championship teams from 1978 and 1988, national championship Florida Southern College baseball teams. The Mocs have 9 national championships. And interestingly enough, there are buddies across the way here in the third base dugout, the University of Tampa. They now have 8. So these two have been dominating college baseball for a long, long, long time. And it's going to be really good to see some of these alumni back here. And from what we gather, we're going to have a pretty good turnout here tonight. And as part of our broadcast here this evening, we should have a couple, maybe 3 different members of the alumni from various times throughout the course of this year because of the fact that it's going to be a really, really special night here. So we'll have some interviews. We're thinking maybe, I don't know, around the 3rd, 4th inning, something like that. And then we are also going to have good baseball for you here tonight as the Mocs take on the University of Tampa Spartans. Well, as we mentioned, Florida Southern has really, really been doing well. In fact, before losing to IUPUI, they had not lost since a 10-2 defeat to North Georgia back on February 10th. So you can think that's a full month of nothing but victories here for the Mocs. They defeated North Georgia, Georgia College 3 times, Eckerd 3 times, Florida Tech once in a non-conference game, Assumption once. They swept Kentucky Wesleyan in a 2-game series. They beat Seton Hill, and they won the first 2 of the 3 games against Indiana University of Pennsylvania before finally losing on Wednesday night here at John Rada Stadium at beautiful Henley Field. So they have really been on a roll of late, and I think what you're going to see tonight as we get very close to the start of the pregame ceremonies here, I think what you're going to see tonight is this. Can the Mocs hitters who have been just scorching all year hit a very good University of Tampa pitching staff that comes into the series with a 2.88 earned run average? That's best in the Sunshine State Conference. On the other side, you have the Florida Southern College Mocs pitching staff. Their numbers are high. They're at 4.41 right now, and they are going to have to get out a Tampa team that is hitting .337 overall, second best in the Sunshine State Conference. So it's really going to be a battle on both sides here. Can the Mocs pitchers handle this really tough University of Tampa team, and can the Mocs hitters hit what looks to be really an outstanding pitching staff that Joe Urso of Tampa has put together? So, I mean, this is really, really going to be Division II college baseball at its best, and fans are still filing in here. We're going to have a pretty good crowd here tonight, as well as for tomorrow. There'll be a doubleheader here tomorrow starting at 1 o'clock, weather permitting, and we have to say that right now because there definitely is going to be a chance of rain. Earlier in the week, it looked like it was going to be a 90% chance of rain, but that's kind of whittled down now to around 40% overall. So we're hoping we can get these 2 games in here tomorrow, and we hope the field is in great shape right now. Let's hope it stays that way, that it isn't bothered by any rain over the weekend, because what you want to see in this series is baseball at its best, and I think we are actually going to be able to see that here tonight as this Mocs team, and I know they're really ready to play. You know the University of Tampa is ready to play. This is, again, a great series. This is number 225 in their all-time series. The Mocs have a 115 to 109 advantage and have won the last four of the last 5, including 2 of the last 3 played last year over at the University of Tampa. So it's going to be a really, really great series. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. And what's interesting to me is, too, that the Mocs will not have any more non-conference games against non-conference opponents for the rest of the year. They have only played 3 conference games. They have 27 more to go, starting with tonight with this 3-game series against the University of Tampa. They will play Rollins once on the road, and they'll play Florida Tech once on the road in non-conference games against conference teams. But there are no more assumptions, no more Indiana University of Pennsylvania, none of that. It is all conference play from here on, as Florida Southern will face some really good teams in what is always, and I mean always, a tremendous Sunshine State Conference. And, you know, last year it was the Mocs did not make the region. Rollins did, St. Leo did, Tampa did, Nova did. I mean, if you think about it, 4 teams out of the 8 came from the Sunshine State Conference, and who would be surprised if that doesn't happen again this year? It looks like Montevallo really good in the Gulf South. It looks like West Georgia also really good in the Gulf South. It's hard to tell about the other conference, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. We're not sure about that one right now. But generally, at least, well, the champion from that league will definitely get in. And so, you know, it's certainly possible to see 4, maybe 5 teams from this baseball-rich conference make it to the South region. And from there, boy, you never know how far it's going to go. Last year, the Rollins College Tars got out of the region, and they went all the way to the national semifinals before losing. So it's a really, really good time. Well, I think we're going to be ready to go now with the introduction of all of the players, and for that, or rather the alumni, and for that we are going to turn it over to our color analyst and also our PA announcer for this opening ceremony. That'll be Clay Rowe from Florida Southern. Clay?
Fans, welcome to historic Henley Field for today's game between the visiting University of Tampa Spartans and Florida Southern College Moccasins. Before we begin today's game, we invite you to turn your attention to the field as we welcome FSC baseball alumni to the field for today's Baseball Champions Weekend. Let's recognize these alumni. We'll begin with current head coach of the Mocs, Lance Necro. Richie DiVincenzo. Craig Jarrow. Bob Georges. Terry Cassine. Mike Leach. Steve Nichols. Rob Turkett. Mike Cobb. Brian Stone, Terry Smith, Chris Gompert. Let's give it a round of applause for our visiting Florida Southern alumni. Now we would like to welcome, as part of our Baseball Champions reunion, the 1978 Florida Southern College National Championship team. During the 1978 season, the Mocs went 41-8 overall to beat Delta State 7-2 on June 1st for the national championship. It was the 4th national title for Florida Southern and first of 2 championships for Coach Arnold. Let's meet members of that 1978 team. Let's meet those members of the 78 team. French Cacciatore. Jay Kaufman.
One area, what do you mean?
Andy McGaffigan.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Mike Scholler. And Coach Joe Arnold. Let's hear it for our 1978 National Championship team. Now let's welcome the 1988 Florida Southern College National Championship team. During the 1988 season, the Mocs went 48-10 overall to beat Cal State Sacramento 5-4 on May 31st. An RBI single by Fernando Aguilas in the 12th brought home Bobby Lefebvre and gave Florida Southern its 7th national championship. Let's meet members of that 1988 team. Pete Sherwin. Chris Allen. Mark Chasey. Jack Kelb. Jimmy Hitt. James Hurst. Billy Cole. Ed Lamondo. Chris Leach. Bobby Lefebvre. Joe Logan. Billy Miller. Brian Osinski. Gary Pippick. Jam Van Hart. Brock Whitmire. Also welcome Angie Arnold, the widow of Brian Arnold. Assistant coach, Bob Gendron. And the widow of Coach Chuck Anderson, Christina Baker Anderson. Let's hear it for our 1988 National Championship team. Florida Southern leads all Division II programs with 9 national championships.
Well, fans, there is the championship. And look at those guys out there in the field, man. These guys were stars here at Florida Southern back in 1978 and 1988. And I was really impressed with 78's now, boy, how many years? Let's see if I can get my math right on this. It's over 40. It's not quite 50, but it's over 40 years ago. And we still saw about half a dozen guys that are here for that. But, boy, that 1988 team, they really had a great turnout here tonight. And that obviously isn't as far, but boy, when I sit here and think about it, it's 35 years. That's still a really long time, folks. I mean, I'm married for 36, so I know how long that is, and it's great to see. And what you probably can't see right now is that the current Mocs players are standing out around and past their dugout, and as all of these players from yesteryear go by, they all get the fist bump from the current Mocs players. A really, really great scene here tonight at historic, beautiful Henley Field. And boy, I tell you what, when we go back and we think about how far this was now, so it's 45 years, what a great place to hold it other than here at Henley Field. Could not be better. I mean, you want to talk about some history. This place has history galore. And it's still a beautiful facility here, and it's a big ballpark. You look down the lines, it's 330 down each, 330 down the left field line, 325 down the right field line, goes 385 in the alleys, and 405 to dead center field with a nice little screen in the background there. But this year, I'm telling you what, it's a big park, but they've been hitting a lot of home runs out of it, and that's just the kind of year that this Florida Southern College team has had so far this season. They are 16-5, as we mentioned, but they have just been absolutely on fire. They have scored 182 runs in their 21 games. So if you do the math there, that's going to be about 8 3/4 runs per game this season that the Mocs have been able to score. They've given up 119 runs, which, again, over 21, that's a little over 5 a game. And, of course, that ERA kind of reflects it. I said 4.41 earlier. It's actually 5.12. So that kind of reflects the number of runs given up. But this team has hit 39 home runs in 21 games. That's almost 1 every 2 games. And they're on pace to maybe get very close to that 100 mark if they can continue to hit the way they have so far here this season. They have just been smoking it at the plate. And of course, when you go over to the other side, you're going to say the same thing. Tampa at that 330 average. They don't have nearly as many home runs. They have 16 so far this year, but they have outscored their opponents 160 to 76. And again, that 76 is the number that jumps out at you because that is how good this University of Tampa pitching has been so far this season. Well, we are probably still about maybe 18 minutes or so away from the start of the game here. Why don't we go ahead and take an extended pregame break, maybe about 10 minutes or so, and when we come back, we will get you set for Florida Southern College baseball. It doesn't get any better than this. It'll be the Mocs against the University of Tampa Spartans, game 1 of a 3-game series. And I know I speak for Moc fans here in the stands and probably you at home and even the University of Tampa fans. Can't wait for the start of this one. We'll be back in around 10 minutes with Moc Spartans baseball right here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Welcome back to John Rada Stadium at historic Henley Field here in downtown Lakeland. We have just had the alumni pregame ceremony, and now we're going to have a special opening first pitch here for tonight's game. Wearing the white out there is going to be Joe Arnold, who was the manager of the 1978 team, and with him is Christine Baker Anderson, who is the widow of the 1988 manager, Chuck Anderson. Catcher is Jordan Gaynor, and Joe Arnold cranks it up. And now his arm is hurt. Well, no surprise there. And that'll be the first pitch for tonight's game. Again, Christine Baker Anderson, the widow of Chuck Anderson, who coached this 1988 championship team. And as they are both being helped off the field here a little bit. Again, you know, it's a long time. We mentioned that. It's 35 and 45 years. That's a heck of a long time for anything. And it's just good to see everybody out here tonight. It's a perfect night for baseball, no question about that. I thought it might be a little cool, but I don't think that's going to happen. It sure looks like that this is going to be just an outstanding game here this evening between the Mocs and the University of Tampa Spartans. 115 to 109. Can you imagine that? 225 games that these two teams have played. 9 national championships for the Mocs, 8 for the University of Tampa. I mean, those are really, really impressive numbers, and it's one of the reasons why this series has always been so good is because these teams are always so good. It's a rare time when either of these teams are not good. For instance, now with the coaches here for these two games these two teams, if you look at the University of Tampa, Joe Urso is in his 23rd season as the Spartans head coach. He's got 930 career wins, 272 losses. He has 5 of the Spartans' 8 national titles. I mean, he has been one of the top collegiate baseball coaches now for well over 2 decades, and we were talking about it earlier. He needs 70 for 1,000. You know, he's going to get that before 25 years as a head coach. And if you do those numbers, you're talking 40 wins a year just to get there. So, I mean, that is really something. And, of course, the Mocs, Lance Niekro, what a career he has had here. Great player here, major league player for the San Francisco Giants. Played for 4 years. This is his 11th season here at Florida Southern. He's got a 284 and 187 lifetime mark. And, you know, as I look at this Mocs team, I just kind of have to just be in awe of what this team has been able to accomplish this year. And I say that because I did a lot of games here last year, and I'll be doing a few more here this season. What I saw last year, only 2 players in the top 9 are back and playing. Jeff LaCorey at first, and Connor Berry, who played a lot of second base and left field last year. He's the designated hitter. Lance Niekro and his staff, led by recruiting coordinator Stephen Crabtree, went out, and I guess you have to say lived in the portal for a while just to find as many good players as they did, and they were able to completely reconstruct this offense for Florida Southern. And as good as it was last year, might be even better this year. Now, they did not have to do a lot with the pitching. They had 2 of the 3 starters back from last year. We're going to see Nate Madej tonight, and we're going to see in game 1 tomorrow Eric McAtee. But they had to go get the 3rd starter, and that will be Jordan Fox this year, who has earned the right to be the 3rd starter, at least at this point in the season. And they also had to replace their closer, Ryan Langford, who signed a minor league deal with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. But they had Colin Kammerig, and Kammerig has been sort of their de facto closer so far this year. He did it some last year, so it really wasn't that much difference. And when you look at the Mocs pitching staff, they had a lot of guys back this year that were here last year for the team. So really the reconstruction of this team took place on the offensive end for Florida Southern, and boy, I'm telling you what, they did a job. When these guys come up for the first time tonight, you're going to hear a lot of hitting streaks that are going. A couple have been stopped recently, but there are a lot of hitting streaks that are still going here for the Mocs. And boy, if they can continue it through this 3-game series against the Spartans, then gosh only knows where it's going to go from here. And as I said earlier, it's all Sunshine State Conference teams from here on. They're going to play 2 games out of the conference against Rollins and Florida Tech, but everything else will be conference games for this 2023 season. They played 3, and they've got 27 to go. And what's really important about that, and this applies to softball as well, there is no conference tournament in baseball or softball. If you win the league regular season, you get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament through the South region. And that's always been a goal, always a goal for all of these teams to come in. But they know how hard that is to achieve because there are so many good teams in this league. I mean, it's almost, last year I thought the Mocs had a tremendous season at 20 wins and 10 losses in the conference, but they didn't make their South region. They came up probably, and it's hard to tell, but I was going to say probably one team short. Maybe they were 7th or 9th instead of 8th, something like that. They just didn't quite make it, but 4 teams did make it, and Rollins went all the way, won the region, went all the way to the national championships, and they did not even host the sub-region. Last year, St. Leo and Tampa hosted the sub-regions. And so, I mean, it's just that good a baseball that we have here in the Sunshine State Conference. And it just seems like every year it only gets better as it goes along. Well, we're getting very close to the start of the game. The Mocs will be heading out on the field here momentarily. We should have the national anthem, and then we will go ahead and get this game underway. Game 1 of 3, tomorrow's doubleheader, scheduled to start at 1 p.m., and we are sure hoping the rain holds up. Well, why don't we go ahead and give you the starting batting order here for the University of Tampa Spartans. The Mocs are taking the field. Jordan Layla will lead it off for the Spartans. He's in center field. Drew Earhart is the second baseman and second hitter. J.D. Ursa, the son of the head coach, is the shortstop and batting third. First baseman E.J. Doscal will be the cleanup batter for the Spartans. The catcher Santiago Garavito will bat fifth. The third baseman Anthony Nunez will hit sixth. The right fielder E.J. Cumbo will bat seventh. The designated hitter for tonight's game, Luis Rodriguez, will bat eighth. And the left fielder Jamarcus Lyons will bat ninth. The pitcher here this evening will be Michael Paul. He is a 2-1 record, a 3.98 earned run average. We'll talk more about him when the Spartans take the field. The Mocs are taking the field right now, so let's go ahead and set that defense for you. Jeff LaCourie is at first base. Mitch D'Onofrio is at second. Jevin Relaford is at short, and Sean Riley is around at third. In the outfield, it's Bryce Safarwich in left, Deontay Starks in center, and Elrico Riley around in right. The catcher is Drew Cavanaugh, and tonight's pitcher is Nate Madej, last year's number one guy, and he's the number one guy again this year. Well, time now for our national anthem.
Please rise at table and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
And with the playing of our national anthem, that means we will be really close to the start here of tonight's game between the Mocs and the University of Tampa Spartans. Again, Nate Madej on the mound here for Florida Southern. We mentioned that he was the number one guy last year. He's the number one guy again this year. He's 4-0 So far this season for Florida Southern, he has made 6 appearances, all of them starts, 33 innings, 37 hits, 18 runs, 15 earned runs. He has walked 12 and fanned a conference best 50 players in 33 innings. Opposing batters are hitting .272 against Nate Madej. This will be his 30th career start game for Florida Southern. 27 starts. He's 14-4 overall for the Mocs with a 4.04 ERA. And in 138 innings on the mound, he has fanned 163 batters. Those are really impressive numbers for Nate Madej. A lot of people thought he was going to be drafted last year. He was not. And he is back again this season, but don't expect to see him back again because he'll probably get drafted this time. Sometimes it works for you and sometimes it doesn't, and it just didn't for him last year despite having a really, really good season. Madej is the big left-hander with a great curveball and a tremendous changeup. His curveball sometimes, to me, seems to almost stop before it gets there. It's almost like it stops and then looks, okay, where do I want to go? And it dives and it goes one way or the other. So, I mean, he has really been the ace. Now, he's had a few issues in the first inning of games, so this might be really important for him to get off to a good start here for the Mocs. And the University of Tampa will start it off with Jordan Layla. He is the center fielder, a .360 batter with no homers and 13 runs driven in this year for the Spartans. On-base percentage of an even .500, so you know he gets on a bunch. And again, we mentioned we will have some interviews for you throughout the course of tonight's game. And the first pitch by Nate Madej will be that inside curveball, which is a little too far in. It's 1 ball and no strikes here on Jordan Layla. Drew Earhart and J.D. Urso, first 3 scheduled batters for the Spartans here in the first. Pitch there, it's a good curveball, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike here on Jordan Layla. Spartans like to run as a team. They have stolen 32 this year. Pitch is high on the fastball. It's 2-1. 2-1 on Layla, leading off the top of the first inning. Game just underway here. The Mocs and the Spartans on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. 2-1 on the way. Good curveball outside corner, 2-2. Layla didn't think so, but boy, it sure looked good from here. Lala is out of Steinbrenner High in Tampa. Actually went to the University of Miami first. Real close on that one. Full count, 3-2. And a lot of these Spartans are homegrown players. Tampa's baseball program is really, really good. High school and, of course, junior college. Payoff pitch on the way. Hard grounder, big hop to LaCourie at first. He will go to the bag, and Lala is out number 1 for the Spartans here in the top of the first inning. So to get Drew Earhart to the plate. He's a .277 hitter with no homers and 11 runs driven in. Only 2 players in this Spartan lineup are not hitting .300 at the moment. Earhart, a right-handed batter. And Madej's first pitch is outside, 1-0. He's a grad student, went to Wharton High in Tampa. 1-0 count on Earhart. Pitch on the way. Line shot into left field. That's going to get down for a hit. Safrowicz over to pick it up. Big turn in first by Earhart, but he's going to stay on with a 1-out single here in the top of the first inning. So that's going to get J.D. Urso to the plate. The son of the Spartans head coach, a .365 hitter with 2 home runs, 30 runs driven in this season. Urso in the top 10 in 3 different categories in the conference. Pitch way inside, 1-0. Second in run score with 28. First in doubles with 12. And he's tied for second in sac flies with 4. Earhart, the 1-out base runner at first. Madej checks him, comes to the plate, and the pitch is fouled out of play off the screen. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike here on Urso. Earhart at first has 2 steals and has also been caught a couple times. Not a big lead. LaCourie holds him on. Pitch is swung on and missed. Good changeup. And it's 1-2 now on Urso. Madej is tough to time because you can't sit on his fastball. Lefty set, and the 1-2. Way inside, 2-2. If you sit on his fastball, he is going to give you a little bit of a look with that curveball. And that slider, too, that is really good. Earhart leads away at first, 2-2 pitch. Low and outside. Now it's full to Urso at 3-2. Clay Rose going to be joining us as our color analyst off and on throughout tonight's game. Runner going to go. Pitch is high for ball 4, and that's going to put 2 runners aboard. So Urso walked the walk, worked the walk on a 1-2 count, and now it's first and second for Tampa with only 1 away. And here is E.J. Doskow, a .377 batter with 5 homers and 17 driven in. Clay, I mentioned a moment ago that Madej has had some first inning trouble. Looks like he's got a little bit here right now.
Yeah, you said it. I think maybe just trying to find the strike zone. We've seen that a few times this season so far. I think he's had, probably 6 starts or so.
Mm-hmm, yep.
So, I don't think it's too concerning. He seems to really light it up, the next few innings. We've had a couple situations. He gave up 2-3 runs and then shut out the next 5. So we'll see what we kind of get from here with 2 on and 1 out. Throwing a few balls now, pitch, a couple full counts now too. So kind of a tough little situation, but that's inside, I guess.
Yeah, it's 2-0 now.
2-0 count. But, like you said, with his variation of pitches and stuff, definitely still, with 50 strikeouts, I think, on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Just still an incredible season, but like you mentioned, we'll see how, the start is against the number 2 team.
2-0 pitch. That was a good one right there. 2-1. Good fastball by Madej. 2 balls, 1 strike here on Doskow. We mentioned his .377 batting average and his 5 home runs. He's a good one. He's out of Valdosta State at transfer. Went to Columbus High in Miami. 2-1 pitch. That's a great Madej curveball right there, 2-2. And I'm sure Doskow would like to have that one back because that sat up pretty nicely for him. But you really got to struggle to time his pitches. Earhart at second, Urso at first, 1 away, top of the first. Spartans with a threat right away. 2-2 on the way inside. It gets a nice catch there. I thought it got away, but a great job by Kavanaugh to catch it. And now, once again, it's 3-2 here on Doskow.
Yeah, it kind of looked like his pad.
Yeah.
Came out.
I thought it was the ball.
Yeah.
So it's a full count. The runner went last time, Earhart. Let's see if they go on this one. Probably not, but you never know. Full count, not going. Pitch is fouled back into the screen behind home plate. So it remains full on E.J. Doskow. Madej looking for a punch out here. And the pitch clock is in effect here. And we'll talk about that as we go. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed. There was that great curveball. Strikeout number 1 for Nate Madej, his 51st strikeout of the season. And that, folks, is a big one. So 2 gone. And, boy, Clay right there, that's what he can do.
Yeah, you were talking earlier about his the kind of pitches he gets. And if you sit on a fastball, he's going to throw a curveball or something like that on you. So, but a great job there with 2 outs because, with 2 on and 1 out, it's a different situation than 2 outs and 2 on. So a little bit more flexibility probably as he faces Garavito here.
He's a .342 hitter, 2 homers, 10 driven in. He is the Spartans catcher, and he takes the fastball high, 1-0. Madej trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here in the top of the first. Big strikeout there of Doskow. 1-0 on Garavito. Pitch on the way. There's a good curveball, 1-1. And it looks like Garavito asking the home plate umpire, where was that? From our vantage point, we have a pretty good one. Looked awful good. 1-1 count here on Garavito. Earhart at second, Urso at first with 2 gone. Pitch is just up, and they're going to ask for some help and not going to get it. 2 balls and 1 strike here on Garavito. Looks like the high fastball is going to have to be down a little bit to get a called strike here. 2-1 on Santiago Garavito. The day to the belt. And the pitch. High fly ball should be playable. Center fielder's going to camp under it, and Deontay Starks makes the catch for the 3rd out to retire the side. So in the top of the 1st, the Spartans get a hit and a walk, and they leave 2 runners on. We'll get to the Mocs batting order and the Spartans defense when we come back. No score between the Mocs and the University of Tampa on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Here's the batting order for the Mocs as they get set to face Michael Paul here in the bottom of the 1st inning. The first baseman, Jeff Licuri, will start it off. He'll be followed by the right fielder, Elrico Riley, and then the catcher, Drew Cavanaugh. Left fielder, Bryce Safrowitz, will be the cleanup batter here this evening. Designated hitter, Connor Berry, bats in the number 5 spot. The second baseman, Mitch D'Onofrio, hits 6th. The third baseman, Sean Riley, bats 7th. The center fielder, Deontay Starks, bats 8th. And the shortstop, Jevin Relaford, will bat 9th. Setting the Spartans defense for you, E.J. Doskow is at first, Drew Earhart at second, J.D. Urso at short, and Anthony Nunez is around at third. In the outfield, DeMarcus Lyons plays in left, Jordan Lala in center, and E.J. Cumbo in right. Santiago Garavito is the catcher, and Michael Paul is on the mound here for the University of Tampa. He's 2-1 with a 3.98 earned run average. This is his 7th appearance, all starts. He has pitched 31 and 2/3 innings, given up 26 hits, 15 runs, 14 earned, 12 walks, 35 strikeouts, and an opponent batting average of .226 against Michael Paul. He's out of Clearwater Central Catholic High School and also went to Santa Fe Community College in Gainesville. So here's Licuri going to start it off for the Mocs, and boy, what a year. That's all you can say is what a year. 357 average, 8 homers and 31 driven in. He was 5 for 12 against Indiana University of Pennsylvania. 4 scored, 3 driven in, a home run and a stolen base. He is on a 15-game hitting streak right now for the Mocs. And Paul's first pitch, hard ground ball right to second, booted by Earhart. Licuri going to try to go, and he will not make it. He will be out at first base. So that will be out number 1 here for the Mocs, and that will get Elrico Riley to the plate.
Next up, number 1, Elrico Riley.
Riley, the right fielder for Florida Southern, hitting .258 so far this season with 3 homers and 13 driven in. Seems like everybody's hit home runs on this team. First pitch by Paul is right down in there for a strike, 0-1. Riley 2 for 13 against Indiana University, Pennsylvania. 302 in his last 12 games. Pitch will be low, and it's 1-1. Boy, you can see right away, Michael Paul's job is to keep the ball low. That's what he wants to do. 1-1 to Riley. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Riley 16 for his last 53 with 12 scored, 3 homers and 9 RBIs. And also 3 doubles during that time. 1-2 from Paul. Got him. Swung on and missed. Fastball upstairs. Paul mixed it up really nicely there. 2 gone now for the Mocs here in the first inning. Got to get Drew Kavanaugh to the plate. Kavanaugh did not catch the game on Wednesday. Got a day off for the Mocs. So he was 3 for 9 in that Indiana University of Pennsylvania series with a couple of home runs, 3 scored and 3 driven in. He is on a 15-game hitting streak, hitting .411 during that time. First pitch will back him off the plate inside 1-0. Kavanaugh's had 23 hits in his last 56, and maybe more impressive, 24 runs scored, 8 homers, and 23 driven in. He's been almost unstoppable. Check swing will be a called strike. It's 1-1. Also had 2 doubles and a triple during that streak.
Almost hit for the cycle a couple weeks ago.
And that's going to hit him. Kavanaugh took one for the team, looked like on his foot, or right around that area. And that's going to get Bryce Sapirwich to the plate. And he has been scorching. .432 this season with 5 homers, 22 driven in. He was 6 for 13 here on the Monday to Wednesday series. He's got a 13-game streak going. 25 hits during that time, 5 doubles, and 7 round trippers. This guy has just been hitting it out of sight. First pitch is outside from Paul for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes to count. Pitch on the way is hit high into the air. Should be playable. Second baseman is going to camp under it. And catch will be made by Drew Earhart to retire the side. So in the first inning, the Mocs get a runner on a hit batsman, but that runner is left stranded. We go to the second. No score between the Mocs and Spartans here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Anthony Nunez starts it off for the Spartans here in the top of the second inning. He's a .346 batter for UT this season with a homer and 15 driven in. Sophomore out of Hialeah, Florida, over on the East Coast. Miami Springs High is where he graduated from. It'll be Nunez, Cumbo, and Rodriguez, first 3 scheduled batters here against Mocs left-hander Nate Madej. Had a couple guys on in that first inning, was able to get through it. And let's see if that settles him down a little bit here. Nunez getting ready to go. Lights are starting to come on here, although we are in daylight savings time, so we're not going to be dark for a while. Nate Madej ready. First pitch of inning number 2 will be right. Oh, it's going to be outside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 on Nunez. Mock lefty ready. Pitch is fouled right back into the screen behind home plate. It's 1-1. But they can bring it. When he throws his fastball, he can run it up there pretty well. But it's those curveballs and that changeup and that slider. Those are the things. There's the curveball and there's the strike, 1-2. Clay, when he's on with that, he's almost impossible to hit.
I totally agree. I think he's he's a fantastic pitcher, and his variability, I think, is just, I've said that a few times already, but
yeah, there's strike three.
Yeah, so just a great job by him.
And again, that was a fastball that I'm sure that Nunez was sitting on a curveball. And that thing was right at the knees for a strike. So two strikeouts now for Nate Madej. Here's E.J. Cumbo, and he's having a really good year. 412, 3 homers, and 8 driven in. He's in the top 10 in 4 different categories in the Sunshine State Conference. 7th leading hitter overall. Lefty against lefty here. Pitch is hit on the ground. That's going to be a tough play. D'Onofrio going to get over there, going to throw, but he'll never get him. It'll be an infield single for E.J. Cumbo, and it's the second hit in the game for the Spartans. The boy, Clay, I forgot Clay is also doing the PA here. Well, on a play like that, Clay, though, there's just no way he's going to get him. I mean, D'Onofrio was basically almost in the hole at between second and first.
Yeah, it was kind of bummer. You could even see almost Nate Madej kind of bummed that it went just behind him. There's not much he could do, even if he were to try to spin real fast. He's not going to stop it. And, a good – and D'Onofrio's made throws like that this season. So, definitely a good effort. Obviously a speedy Nunez to still get first. But those are – I think I even talked before the game with you off air that, shortstop – I think our infield is just so good. We're making some really incredible catches, some good snags. A little pickoff move there for Madej. But I think those are the kind of game changers, the infield of being jumping, leaping. Relafers make some great snags, catches, lineouts. D'Onofrio's made those good kind of off-foot kind of throws. So definitely look for those as a factor, I think, if there's anything close single-wise.
Well, they say in any baseball, softball, if you can get over 970 as a team fielding, you're really doing pretty well. The Mocs are at 977, and the Spartan team is at 979. So you probably won't see a lot of mistakes here. Ball is hit into the air. Looks like it's going to go to center field. Starks is going to be there, and he will wrap it up for out number 2. Cumbo has to stay at first base. So 2 gone here in the top of the second. That'll complete the Spartan batting order. Jamarcus Lyons coming up. He's a .296 hitter with 1 homer and 6 runs driven in. Where's number 0? Don't see that a whole lot. Went to King High in Tampa. Also went to UCF. Runner at first, throw over. Cumbo has stolen once, but has been caught twice. We mentioned Tampa's with 32 steals. They're averaging 80% because they've been caught 8 times so far this season. Madej's pitch is swung on and missed there by Lyons. And, boy, you could see on that pitch that the first base runner, Cumbo, he was going back to the bag thinking that Madej was coming over. And that's another thing that Nate can do really, really well. And he works from the first base side of the rubber. Pitch will be upstairs. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike now on Lyons. 2 outs, runner at first here in the top of the second. We are scoreless at Henley Field. 1-1. Got a hold of this one into left field. Should be playable out there for Safrowich. He will come over and will glove it in fair territory for the 3rd out to retire the side. So in the second inning, there was a hit and there was 1 runner left on. We go to the bottom of the second. Mocs and Spartans scoreless on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Henley Field. No score between the Mocs and the University of Tampa Spartans with Clay Rowe and our producer James Simpson. I'm Jim Henderson. A good start to this one. The Spartans have 2 hits. The Mocs did not get a hit in inning number 1 against Michael Paul. Kavanaugh got hit with a pitch, but he was stranded. So it will bring up Connor Berry to get it started, then Mitch D'Onofrio and Sean Riley, first 3 scheduled batters here for Florida Southern. Berry, a .346 batter, 4 home runs, 17 runs driven in. For Connor Berry, this is his 96th career game here at Florida Southern. 95 starts. He's got 110 hits. He's a .305 lifetime hitter with 11 homers and 76 runs driven in. Now think about that. 76 RBIs in 96 games for Connor Berry. That is some kind of number. And the first pitch will be right down in there, 0-1. And boy, Clay, it sure looks to me like Michael Paul wants to keep that ball down.
Yeah, no kidding. This is I believe he was one of the starting pitchers in last year's series as well, Michael Paul.
Big hopper to third. Let's see if they can get him. Nunez with a good throw across the diamond in time, 1 away.
Next up, number 3, Mitch D'Onofrio.
So here's Mitch D'Onofrio. He's a .309 hitter with 6 homers and 20 driven in for the Mocs. One gone here in the bottom of the second, no score. D'Onofrio, a transfer from Eckerd, and takes a strike, 0-1. Must have been real interesting for him, Clay, when he played against his whole team here recently.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about D'Onofrio and his time at Eckerd, and our joke to him during media day was that he must love Henley Field because when he played against us last year, he had like 3 homers in a weekend series. So told him he must love the field.
Well, he likes that one. No, a little too far,
yeah.
little too short. It's going to be caught by Lala in center field for the second out. But I'd say right now, Clay, that's the best ball been squared up so far by the Mocs.
That's what it looked like.
So here's Sean Riley coming up. Boy, he's had an outstanding season. .366 batter for the Mocs so far this season. 4 homers and 14 runs driven in. Wearing lucky number 13 out of Winter Haven, transfer from Polk State right around the corner here. And he takes a strike, 0-1. 0-1 here on Sean Riley. 2 outs, no one on. Bottom of the second, no score. Paul's pitch will be inside this time. It's 1-1. Riley with a 15-game hitting streak, .419 during that time. 1-1 is a good pitch. One and swung through by Riley. It's 1-2. 26 hits during that streak. 3 doubles and 2 triples. And he strikes out. They're going to have to throw it to first. And he will be the second strikeout victim for right-hander Michael Paul in the second. The Mocs go out in order, nothing across. We got a pitcher's duel going, folks, here at Henley Field. Mocs and Spartans scoreless after 2 on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We go to the top of the third inning. Spartans will get the leadoff batter up, Jordan Lala, to face Nate Midday. Spartans with game's only 2 hits so far. Michael Paul has set the Mocs down with only a hit batsman through the first 7 batters. It'll be Lala, Earhart, and Urso, first 3 scheduled for the Spartans here in the top of the third. against Nate Midday. Midday already with a couple of strikeouts and a walk. Again, he came in as the leading strikeout artist in the Sunshine State Conference. Olala grounded out on one big hop to Jeff LaCourie at first base to open the game. We will have some interviews coming up, and coming up pretty soon. Fourth inning, we're going to have Chris Leach. Remember that 1987-88 team. He played here 2 years. And then in the fifth inning, Terry Cassine, 1981 National Championship team. First pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-0 here to Lala. Called strike outside corner, 1-1. If Midday can sort of harness that fastball, he's going to be really tough to hit here tonight. There's that curveball, 1-2. 1-2 now on Lala. Pitch on the way, outside, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes on the center fielder for the University of Tampa. Pitch is fouled just back into the screen here. Well, Clay, I know you were over there last year for the three-game series. The Mocs won two, but there were three really, really good games.
Yeah, it was a overall really, really great weekend, especially for the Mocs. Almost kind of similar situation as with the game one last year. There wasn't a single run scored until the fifth or sixth inning, and that was the Mocs. Another strikeout there for Midday.
Yeah, that's against Lala, who simply could not catch up with that curveball. Three strikeouts now for Nate Midday. And that'll get up Drew Earhart. Earhart got a base hit back in the first inning for the Spartans. Wound up getting to second when Urso walked, but was stranded there as Midday got tough after that, fanned Doskow, and got Garavito to fly out to the center fielder Starks. So one away here in the top of the third. Pitch to Earhart. That curveball stayed up a little bit. It's the ball, 1-0.
But yeah, last year Nate Midday went 8 innings, gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Shut out the Mocs. Ryan Langford came in the ninth to hold it a 5-0 Florida Southern win. I know they were excited for Game 1 win, and that really carried into Game 2. Kind of a walk-off bunt situation. We won't talk about that for Game 2 to lose Game 2. But they were really upset about that. Went into Game 3. Another great game. That was 7-2.
Shot foul, yep. Just barely fouled down the line.
But overall, great series. A couple of years in a row now that Florida Southerners essentially upset top-ranked Tampa team, winning a series, 2-1 or 3-0. So I know they're looking for similar vibes today. Mocs ranked now, though, 19th. I know you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, the Mocs have won 4 of the last 5 between these two. And that's saying something as good as Tampa is.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a good Tampa team. And I remember just the pitching off the mound was just fantastic. Tough to get hits. Just really a big duel between pitching, for all around similar kind of starters that we'll see this weekend compared to last year as well. But still just a very, very good Tampa team. But something about Tampa, I know you covered basketball so much, so just something about playing Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
Brings it out a little bit more.
Foul ball out of play by Earhart. Hanging tough at 1-2. Yeah, Tampa and Rollins, Clay, I guess, are the two big rivals for the Mocs.
Which is funny because if you were to ask, Terry or anyone else that you may talk to, I know I asked the same question to Andy McGaffigan last week. If you ask who their rival was and talking about, this upcoming Tampa series, they'll say Rollins. They said Tampa wasn't much of a fight at that time. But, us with Florida Southern with 9 national championships, Tampa with 8 national championships, most recently a couple years ago for Tampa. So definitely a growing rivalry. It was documented pretty well for NCAA Rivals, a LG TV series last year. So that was kind of fun in addition to the series, at Tampa, all week long having a TV crew here on campus with the team over in Tampa. I know you can watch that on YouTube now, and LG smart TV channels as well. But covering the rivalry between Florida Southern and Tampa baseball.
2-2 on the way, and that's the curveball hit hard down to third. Gloved over there by Riley. The throw over to LaCoury in time. 2 gone here now for the Spartans in the top of the third inning. Had to get J.D. Urso to the plate. Walk in the first inning. And I mentioned to Clay earlier before we went on, the Tampa Bay Times had a really good story about Joe Urso and coaching his son, J.D. Urso, which is, he said it's always a challenge because you want to make sure that you're not favoring him. But on the other hand, how many times have you heard that fathers are always tougher on their own kids? Pitch is hit into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Couple big hops out there for Safrowicz. So Urso, a 2-out base runner here now for the Spartans. Hit number 3 in the game off Nate Madej. Urso has 2 steals this year, has not been caught. And the way this game is going, you think you want to try to get into scoring position any way you can. Here is Doskow, who's a strikeout victim of Madej in the first, 0 for 1.
And earlier, I think in the last inning, when I saw a pickoff move a couple times by Madej, it kind of sparked interest of Florida Southern has only had 2 pickoff, successful attempts this year. It was by Madej one and Jordan Fox another. So a little less than, kind of what I remember last year. I remember McAtee had an incredible amount last year as a righty. But I was a hair surprised to see a little fewer pickoffs, but maybe that means there weren't as many people on base. So maybe that's good news for
1 ball, 1 strike here on Doskow. A runner at first, 2 gone. Urso not a very big lead. Doesn't look like he's going. That's a great pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and I think Doskow right now is just trying to figure out what's coming.
Oh, and Lexi's reminding me about the rule for about successful pickoffs, so limiting the number of times that they can get off the plate. Yeah. So that's a good reminder there, Lexi. So, I guess that would definitely make a significant impact this year on pickoff attempts. I know second base, if someone's there, you can only get off the bag once. You'll see umpires make a signal about how many times they've done it a few times. So
well, we do have the pitch clock here today, although we don't have it. Yeah. But you were saying the field umpire does have a little buzzer that goes off, and they better be ready to go.
Yeah, and this field umpire, you can probably see him, just off to the right of Nate Madej on your screen. We'll see that
long fly ball down the line and right. It's going to be
what
a catch! What a catch by Elrico Riley! And the inning is over. Holy mackerel. He ran as far as he could, dove as far as he could, and made the catch to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Mocs and Spartans still scoreless on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Boy, what a way to finish an inning. I mean, that was about as good a catch as you could ever hope to make. The ball was foul, so it would have been another pitch coming up for the batter. But, boy, Elrico Riley just laid out and made a great catch. Clay, you were talking about how good the Mocs been fielding, and, boy, right there, great example of it.
And we have had a couple times with Riley making some kind of diving catch or some of those shallow, maybe because of the wind, it kind of died as it went outfield. But amazing job off the screen probably for you guys, but just incredible. Take our word for it. I was a hair concerned of how close it was to foul territory and if that was actually going to be a foul and we had an off-glove situation and we have a little bit of more movement, but nonetheless a great catch.
So Deontay Starks will start it off for the Mocs here in inning number 3. Starks at 229 batter, a homer and 8 runs driven in. He's been a little bit of a slump of late, but before that, had a streak of 13 hits and 43 at-bats, hitting in 10 of 12 straight games. Homer and 8 runs driven in for Starks. It'll be Starks, Jevin Relaford, and then back to the top of the order, and Jeff LeCoury. Michael Palm, the right-hander, throws it, ground ball out towards short. Glove by Urso, the throw across the diamond to Dosco in time. And Starks is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. So the Mocs batting order complete now with Jevin Relaford, the shortstop. 268 batter with 10 runs driven in. And another one of the Mocs' really, really good fielders. And there are a lot of them on this team. And the first pitch is the ball, 1-0. Paul's next pitch is low, and it's 2-0. Well, right now, LeCoury has handled 139 chances without an error. D'Onofrio, 79 coming into play today. So, again, we talked about how well this team fields. Those guys are at 1,000 for the year. 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed. It's 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike here on Jevin Relaford. Pitch is hit between third and short. Backhanded by Urso. Long throw. Dug out by Dosco. Nice play by both Urso and Dosco. And 2 gone for the Mocs. That was another big play. And I'm telling you what, I think we're going to see a lot of that here tonight. Sure looks like it. You know, we talked a lot about how both these teams really hit. They also field really well, and we have seen it. So here's LeCoury. Now he grounded out to the second baseman, Earhart, in the bottom of the first. Jeff 0 for 1.
And take note, if you can, on your screen, the fielding, the infield. With third base pretty well close to the line, but short, second, and first, all in the right side. I feel like they know where LeCoury tends to hit.
That'll be outside. It's 1-1. Well, I guess Clay in college, a shift is not outlawed yet.
I guess not. Yeah, I was just thinking that not necessarily in the majors where you have that pitch count clock, and but I'll get in there for a strike. So 1-2 count now, but yeah, kind of unique. And here we see third base back off. So that's Nunez kind of coming over to second.
Well, now, if he can hit it down the line, he'll run all day. Yeah. He's going to try to hit it deep. And it's pretty deep. Right fielder Cumbo, though, is now going to come in a couple steps.
Quite a few steps.
And will camp under it for the third out to retire the side. So in the third, the Mocs go out in order, nothing across. Palm has not given up a hit only 1 batter through 3 innings. We go to the fourth, no score between the Mocs and Spartans here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We go to the top of the fourth inning here at beautiful Henley Field in downtown Lakeland, and everything we thought this would be, it is. Mocs and Spartans scoreless as we get set to start play here in the fourth. Again, we talked a lot about the hitting prowess of these teams, but you also know in baseball that good pitching can get good hitting out. You go 3 for 10 in baseball for a number of years, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's just the way it is, and it's just that way in baseball. And so far, pitchers have dominated, but we got a long way to go. And we will have a guest coming on to join us here momentarily. We'll get him all set up over here. As the Spartans will send up Santiago Garavito, the catcher. And we'll let him get the headset on here to set things up. And I am pleased to be joined here in the fourth inning by Terry Cassine. Terry, let's get that thing down here a little bit for you.
Chris Leach.
Oh, you're Chris Leach. My bad. That's my mistake. My mistake. Well, anyway, good to see you anyway here. And what do you think of the game so far?
Well, I think there's probably some feeling out going on.
Okay.
In the early stages. Not a lot of action, but a good defensive battle at least.
Yep. So far.
Okay.
So far. Well, when you watch baseball today, has it changed much from the time you played back in 1988? A ground ball down the line, that's going to go down into the corner, and that's going to get Garavito to second with the leadoff double here in the fourth inning. Has it changed much?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any magic bullets or dust to this.
Okay.
I think. If you want to be a great team, obviously you've got to play great defense. You have to have great pitching, and then you have to have timely hitting.
Well, I would think you know something about that.
A little bit of something.
Tell us a little bit about that championship year.
Yeah, look, I mean, we were 48-10. At that time, we played, a pretty aggressive Division I schedule.
Yeah, that's true. Back in those days, they did, didn't they?
We beat Iowa State. We beat the University of Maine. We beat South Florida, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Bradley, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. We beat a lot of really good teams that came down in here. To me, we were on the tail end of, I think, the dynasty.
Okay. All right.
When you think about those championship teams from 71 on, we were pretty much, 71, 72, 75, 78, 81, 85, and then 88. We ended up being, sort of that.
Ground ball to second, and Nunez is out number one on the play. Garavito heads over to third base. So that'll bring up the right fielder, E.J. Cumbo, got a base hit back in the second inning. Well, what was it like? I know you really you hit the heck out of the ball for a couple of years here, it seemed like.
We did, yeah. We had we just had a tremendous team and the depth of our team.
Okay.
Sort of give you some perspective. In 1988, we had 13 players drafted off of our team, and I wasn't one of them. And I was the MVP of the College World Series and an All-American.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Were you surprised? I mean, it sounds like you probably should have.
Well, I ended up signing a free agent contract a few months later. But when you look at the original 25-man roster that won the 1988 championship with, I think it was 18 or 19 players that ended up playing professional baseball, 2 major leaguers.
Okay.
So we were stacked.
Yeah.
0-1
pitch.
Try.
Going
to heads-up play.
It'll
Good
be
try.
an infield single and an RBI as Garavito scores on the base hit by Cumbo, and the Spartans break out to a 1-0 lead here in the fourth. Well, again, a really good effort, like you said there, by LaCourie. Just couldn't quite glove it.
Well, it was a good effort by the first baseman. I think the second baseman really made a heads-up play, almost actually beating the runner to the bag. So, give him credit there. Look, I mean, bang, bang play, right?
Yep. Oh, absolutely. And you see a lot of those in baseball. Well, you had 2 years here. What was it like playing for Florida Southern?
It was the time of my life.
Okay.
The relationships, really understanding, I think, how the game of baseball was really supposed to be played. The training, the direction, the development was really second to none at that time. And, beyond that, winning the championship with, 25 guys, they become brothers for life.
Yeah, I was going to say, it must have been something to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's tremendous. It's a bond that will never be broken. And, some of the guys that showed up this weekend I haven't seen in 30 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And, within a couple hours, you feel like you haven't missed a beat, All that.
Base hit where the open spot was at second. Rounding second is Cumbo. And Cumbo will go over to third, on at first with a single, is Luis Rodriguez now first and third with one out and one in. And, boy, right now the Spartans are starting to find some holes.
Yeah, a little bit. It looked like the second baseman.
He was going over to cover for a steal.
Yeah, sort of left the thing wide open. So give him credit. That's a good piece of hitting there.
Well, I was really impressed today during the pregame ceremonies here. There were a lot of you guys from that 88 team here.
Yeah, we have
That's
a great
long
group
time
of
ago.
guys. It's a pretty tight bunch. 5 years ago, I think we had 16 or 17 guys. We had about that this time around, and there's lots of ongoing relationships outside of this one event, right?
Okay.
That I think really, drives and promotes, the kind of camaraderie that we have, and we just had chemistry off the charts at that time. I think that was really one of the reasons why we were so good and won a national championship is, the relationships and we genuinely really loved one another off of the field.
That makes
right?
all the difference in the world.
Oh my
it?
God, we played for one another and we gave it everything we had, and we were an intimidating machine in '88.
We'll talk about your coach a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Anderson, recruited me personally. Like he did for most of the guys on the team, and if you wanted to come to Florida Southern, you really came here because you thought you would have a legitimate chance to win a national championship. Okay. And Coach Anderson, I think, did a great job of recruiting and really trying to get the kind of talent that would compete for that championship.
Yeah.
Just like Coach Arnold did before it, right, and all those other teams. But, he was just a tremendous recruiter. And it wasn't just the state of Florida. I'm from Rhode Island originally.
Okay.
Right.
I
was at DeKalb in Atlanta, and several of the guys came from that route. But there was a lot of junior college players at that time came in. And so I think he recognized that, you want freshmen to come in and develop freshmen over time to really sort of lead over time. But you've got to reload every year.
Yep.
And in order to do that, you had to bring or infuse a certain level or amount of junior college talent in. And he was able to do that really successfully because most of my teammates in the 88 team were junior college guys, transfers coming in.
2-2 on Lions. Runners at first and third here, one away. Pitch by Madej is popped up, foul out of play, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Well, I know it had to be a great thrill for you, and it's just when you look back on it now, were there any games that were really close that you might have lost that would have knocked you out?
It's an interesting question because
let's see. That ball is popped up infield. That should be an out, and will be. LaCoria will glove it for the second out.
We never expected or anticipated to lose. I will say this in the regionals. We lost Game 4 against Tampa.
Okay.
And so it was 2-2. So they extended us to a Game 5. And,
okay.
And so, to me, it was a mental test more than anything else.
Did you have the Game 5 at home or on the road?
We did, yeah.
Oh, you had it at home, okay.
It was at Marchant Stadium.
Okay.
And so, we came in Game 5, and to me it was a test. It was really about, the mental fortitude and the things that we felt like, we wanted to accomplish. And, we ended up winning Game 5 pretty handily, and we never looked back. We swept the World Series and never really, I think, got challenged.
Okay.
In that way in the national championship games and so forth. But, but we had, like I said, we had a pretty dominant team, very fortunate.
So after Florida Southern, where'd you go?
Well, so I ended up signing a free agent contract with the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
In '89, and I played 3 seasons with them, making as far as New Britain, Connecticut, or
Double A,
Eastern League.
Yep.
And about 50, 60 games into that season, I ended up blowing out a couple of discs, and
that'll do it, right?
Ended up getting sent home, and try to get it up and ready in the next year, and just couldn't do that,
okay.
and thought that maybe my health and everything else was more important at that point, but. The game of baseball for me has always been about the people and the relationships.
Okay, all right.
I don't know that I missed the game today, but I missed the people a whole lot.
Yeah, I can imagine, and that makes a weekend like this special, doesn't it?
Oh, incredibly special. Whether it's playing golf or just, watching a ball game like this, it's gratifying to know, that you can bring a bunch of your teammates come in and really enjoy ourselves the way that we have.
2-2 pitches high, 3-2. Well, I would hope the Mocs will give you a win here today, but this Tampa team is number 2 in the country. Mocs are 19th overall right now. They just got into the top 25, and this is a good team they're facing here.
Yeah, look, I give Tampa a lot of credit. I think that over the last 20 years or so, they put a really good product on the field, and they've won some national championships. They've closed the gap on us, so hopefully we can extend that gap and continue our dominance. But they have a good program for sure.
Well, Chris, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming by. All the best, and hope to see you at future alumni.
All right, good talking.
Thank you, Chris Leach here, and we'll go ahead and take a break. The Mocs got out of trouble. They did give up 1 on 3 base hits, but it could have been worse. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Tampa leads 1-0 over Florida Southern on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Welcome back. Bottom of the 4th inning. Terry Cassine is with us now from the 1981 national champions.
Sir.
And Terry, good to have you here as the Mocs down 1-0. I asked Chris to start his interview here. You're watching the baseball game. What do you think?
Well, it's been a long time for me. My first day on campus was 1979.
That is a while ago.
That was a long time ago. I played in 1980 and 1981.
1981. Of course, that was a national championship year, and you threw the ball a little bit, I hear.
I was a pitcher, and very proud to say I threw a no-hitter in 1981.
Did you really? Okay.
In the middle of our 28-game win streak.
Wow.
We tied the NCAA record, and we're going for the record, and we got beat by St. Leo.
Okay.
We're not too happy about that.
Well, Elrico Riley starts it off for the Mocs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tampa now with a 1-0 lead. Riley, Kavanaugh, and Safrowicz, the first 3 scheduled batters, and the second pitch is a ball, 1-1. Baseball different now?
Yes and no. The Mocs uniforms look a little different. The players seem like they're a lot bigger, stronger. That's a good pitch.
1-2 now. Well, when you pitched, what did you throw? Besides a fastball, obviously.
I was not known as an overpowering pitcher. I had a very good curveball.
Okay.
Oop, there's a line drive.
Foul down the line and left. It's now 1-2.
I played junior college ball out in Arizona.
Okay.
And we played in the Junior College World Series both years, and those schools out there are at high altitude. So trying to get the curveball and sliders like that to move, it was difficult, but I found a way.
There's a fly ball into left center field. Looked like the center fielder, Lala's going to camp under it, makes the catch for out number 1. Yeah, I would imagine once you came down here in the humidity, it must have been a little different.
It was a lot different. The extremes, we played in Prescott, Arizona, which is at a mile high. The ball flew out of there like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
And then our league games were down in Phoenix, playing Scottsdale, Phoenix College, Glendale. So you went from 5,400 feet in the mountains to the flatlands, and you had to adjust your pitches. They came out of your hand differently. The ball felt differently, and the ball carried quite a bit differently. So as a pitcher, you always had to adjust, and we played a lot of schools at a lot of different elevations, and you had to adjust.
Well, I got to ask you, since you told me that you threw a no-hitter, what was it like coming into the final inning? You know, the old superstition was nobody talks to the pitcher. Did that happen to you?
It was the first game of a doubleheader. We were playing Providence College, and it was about game 20 of our 28-game win streak. So we were just beating everybody. It was just a doubleheader. Let's beat them twice. Let's get out of here. So I was pitching that day here at Henley Field. There you go.
Foul ball.
I didn't really feel like I had very good stuff. The wind was blowing straight in.
Well, that helped.
Well, no, it does not on a curveball. You need wind blowing out.
Oh,
it gives
all
you
right.
a little bit more bite on the ball.
Okay.
And if you're throwing a fastball, you like to have the wind at your back. But that day, the wind, we got...
That hits Mr. Cavanaugh, and that is the second time that he has been hit in the game.
He's not happy.
No, and that didn't feel good either. I can tell from here.
As a pitcher, it's like, hey, brush it off, buddy, get down the line. But he's one of the locks, so...
Well, anybody, this is a silly question, but you just saw him get hit. Anybody come at you after you hit somebody?
If they thought it was intentional.
Okay.
And a couple of times back in the day, it was intentional. Can't lie about it. But the day of the no-hitter, it's really great coming back here because that was 42 years ago this month.
Okay, yeah.
And I can't believe it's 42 years. It just seems crazy. But it was the first game of a doubleheader. The wind's blowing in. I didn't feel like I had much stuff going that day. And I walked a couple guys, and I just didn't – nobody really – it wasn't anything special except we're winning, which we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And about the sixth inning, our right fielder, Billy Legato, made a diving catch. And I didn't know I had a no-hitter going. Cause the guys
Seriously, you didn't know?
Didn't know.
Okay.
Hadn't pitched one since junior high school, and I never really thought about it. But the team did, and they didn't say a word. Well, Billy made a diving catch to get the third out in the bottom of the sixth inning. And everybody was hooting and hollering when they came in the dugout. And then I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah, now you know, right?
And I looked at the scoreboard, and I said, oh, no, I got a no-hitter going.
Turned him loose on 3-0. Hits it pretty well into left
Oh
field.
my
In
God.
fact, that's really well. That ball's out of here, a home run. Bryce Safarowicz with his 6th home run of the year. And the Mocs go up by a 2-1 count. How about that, huh?
Wow.
You brought him luck.
There you go. You bean the first guy, and the next guy takes you deep. That's the way you go.
Well, talk a little bit about your national championship. And you said you won a couple in junior college, so I guess it wasn't surprising to be on a national championship team.
Well, I'm from Long Beach, California, and I ended up going to a school called Yavapai College out in Prescott, Arizona. And we went to the Junior College World Series both years. My freshman year, I lost game 4 and 7, which was my only junior college losses, to the same team. So we finished second.
Fly ball into left field. It's actually shortstop Urso is going to back out. He's calling everybody off, and he'll get it for out number 2.
So we finished second my first year, and the next year we went back to the Junior College World Series, and we finished third. So I had some offers to go to a lot of schools, and this guy, Joe Arnold, Hall of Fame coach here, called me up. He went to Arizona State and had quite a few connections in Arizona, and recruited me and 2 of my teammates and a catcher from Scottsdale. And his pitch to me was, hey, come to Florida Southern. We're going to play for the national title. And the next year they're going to move the World Series out to Riverside, California, about 30 miles from my hometown. So he said,
well, that was an allure, right?
Oh, my God. And I said, Coach, come on, you can't guarantee that. Well, the long story short is 1980, I came here. We got to the World Series, and I was the opening day pitcher.
Wow.
In front of about 100 family and friends, and thrill of a lifetime.
Well, tell me a little bit about Joe Arnold.
Joe he was young at the time. He was 33. A lot of us players were 21, 22 years old as seniors. So he was a young, upcoming coach, and oh, boy, what a reputation, a winner. He no-nonsense guy, baseball guy through and through.
Okay.
Well, we got that was a ball 4.
Yeah, he thought so, but the only guy that matters didn't. 3 balls, 1 count, 1 strike right here on D'Onofrio. 2 in on the big home run by Safarowicz. Mocs lead at 2-1 here in the 4th. So, yeah, I guess playing for Joe Arnold, you probably learned a lot about the game of baseball.
There's our walk.
Yeah.
And Joe was the next pitcher, infielder. He knew a lot about all the positions, but we had Chuck Anderson, Hall of Fame coach, as my pitching coach.
Okay.
And Frank Cacciatore, Hall of Famer, Bumpy Nichols, Mike Coombs. All 5 are legends here at Florida Southern. And we had the best staff going, and we had really good players. And Joe was a good coach and just put his players out there in a good position to win. and we did a lot of it. My 2 years, again, I love to brag about our teams. We set the record in 81 for most wins, 55. We're 55-8. So my 2 years, we were 100 wins and 19 losses.
Wow. That is really, really something. Pitch is outside for a ball. It's 2-0 now here on Sean Riley. The runner at first is Mitch D'Onofrio with 2 gone, and time is called. Pitching coach coming out. Well, I imagine you had this happen a few times. Pitching coach walks out. What does he normally say here?
Well, probably one, to give you a breather, but 2, you're probably mechanically doing something wrong. Just to break up the rhythm that's not good now. As a pitcher, I never want to see a coach come out. Never want to see my bullpen out there warming up.
Yeah.
We had Bob Gendron and Mike Tansey, All-Americans. They're still in the record books for most complete games. So our pitchers during my year, my 2 years, we had a lot of complete games.
I was going to say, you guys today, I was just mentioning before the game, both these teams have not had a starter go over 6 innings in a game this season.
Wow.
That was just not the way you guys played it.
No, and matter of fact, in 1981 when we won the World Series, I was our first option out of the bullpen, and we won 5 straight World Series games, complete games. So out in Riverside my senior year, I never got to pitch.
Okay.
80 I did. I was opening day pitcher, but the next year I was our first bullpen pitcher, and we had 5 complete game victories.
Wow.
I don't think that'll ever happen
I was
again.
going to say, you won't see that anytime soon.
Anytime soon.
Well, what's it like to come back? And I didn't look like there was a lot of guys from your year here, but what's it like to come back and see some old faces?
Well, I've been trying to help put this on for a few years, getting our group of guys together, and we're trying to get as many groups of – there's 9 championship teams.
Yeah.
Try to get as many of those 9 teams. A lot of guys are scattered around the country. I'm
Sure.
from California. So it's kind of difficult. People have jobs and careers and whatnot. But I think Florida Southern's doing a good job with the AD trying to get us back. And there's a strike 3.
Well, we certainly enjoyed talking to you, Terry, and all the best. And hopefully you guys can do this a lot in the future.
We definitely will, and it'd be great to see the Mocs win at least 2 out of 3 this weekend.
There you go.
Eckerd was our big rival, but now Tampa is.
Well, see, now, but you got him too.
I did a good job.
Thanks a lot.
You bet.
Terry Cassin.
You're welcome.
2-1, Mocs lead it on the 2-run home run by Bryce Safrowich. We go to the 5th. Coming up next on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Welcome back. We go to the 5th. While we were having interviews, the Mocs had some fun. And when you see what happens when you get hit with a pitch, you heard Terry talk about that. Next guy drills it out of here, and that's the second time now that Kavanaugh's been hit in the game. And, boy, when Safrowich came up, the ball was hit pretty well, and the left fielder Lyons kind of deked a lot of people out there. It looked like we thought he was going to catch it. Then all of a sudden he just turned around and said, no, I'm not getting it. 2-1 Mocs. Madej now with the lead as we go to the top of inning number 5. Clay Rowe will rejoin us here now as our color analyst. And Clay, good to talk to those two guys. Boy, they're still full of life, and they're still Mocs all the way.
Yeah, it's really awesome to have them here, and awesome tradition now. We have enough national championships to. That's going to be fouled there, but enough national championships to consistently have a baseball champions weekend. It's the homecoming weekend, right? This for Florida Southern. So, always special to have these guys back. I know they love it, and I know it's been a good, fun time for them. 78, 88 team, plus a whole bunch of other alumni here at Florida Southern.
1 ball, 1 strike here on Drew Earhart starting off the 5th inning. Madej now with a lead, and the pitch is hit down the line and right, well foul and out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Earhart. Earhart, Urso, and Dosco, the first 3 scheduled batters against Nate Madej. Spartans got one in that fourth inning, and Clay, it could have been worse for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And something to note, Nate Madej has 80 coming in, so 83 pitches now. That's 84 for a strikeout.
And his fifth strikeout of the game as Earhart goes down for the first time. So here is Urso. Urso single and a walk, 1 for 1 so far here today. Yeah, the story in the Tampa Bay Times said that head coach Joe Urso was real blunt with his son when he graduated from high school, said, "You're not ready to play Division II. You're just not ready." And he got himself ready, and now he's one of the top players in the league. Madej ready. 1 gone and the pitch. There's that curveball, but this time it stayed in, and it's 1-0. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's kind of cool to see both coaches, head coaches, alum for their respective program too. So, JJ Necro, who's out spring training right now, joined the Mocs a couple years ago. But it's good to see family. It's good to see, the alum as head coaches for these programs. And I'm sure you mentioned JD, great swinging strike there. But, great for JD Urso and, being coached by his dad. I'm sure that's pretty special. I got to interact with them a little bit last year when we were at Tampa. And just a cool kind of situation you mentioned. It's just, I think it's just awesome to see family.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 3-1 on Urso now. 1 gone here in the fifth. They walked him in the first. And there is that good pitch. Took a little off of it. And now it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Urso. The 2-run Saffrewich homer, the difference in the game in that fourth inning. As the Mocs with that 2-1 lead here. Single game tonight, doubleheader scheduled tomorrow beginning at 1 o'clock. Full count pitch on the way. Inside ball 4, and Nate knew it right away. Urso walks for the second time, only the second walk issued by Nate Madej here in the game. So Urso, a 1-out base runner for Doskow, who was fanned and was victimized by that great catch in right field by Elrico Riley in foul territory to end the third inning. Madej got 2 big outs in that fourth. He got Lyons to pop out with runners at first and third and 1 out. And then he fanned Lala to get out of the inning. Pitch is fouled right back to us. It's 0-1 now on E.J. Doskow. He is the cleanup hitter for this team with 5 home runs, 377 average. Oh, 1 pitch, runner going. Throw down is going to be 1 hop, not in time. Oh, they said he's out. They called him out at second base. And that's going to get Dad out to try to defend it. No, he's not either. By God, he's going to send his son. He's going to tell his son to come on in. Caught stealing, and 2 gone here in the inning. And now Urso is going to have a word or two with the ump. How about that? And boy, the Tampa fans are really unhappy. Clay, it was hard to tell, obviously, from our vantage point.
Yeah, I guess so. 1-1 count now. But, I guess that stand up instead of a slide.
Yeah,
must have kind of bounced and stepped off as he kind of went to keep himself up. Out there, I mean, they obviously have a better view than us. We'll take that for sure. But 2 outs, no one on, far different than 1 out. And then if that would have stayed, that's a runner in scoring position with only 1 out.
That's going to be a tough one. Glove by the third baseman, throws wide, but I think he got him. He did. A great play by LaCoury.
Wow.
A great play by LaCoury. Doskow is out. The throw by Riley was high and wide, but LaCoury stayed with it and tagged the runner out before he got to the bag. What an inning for the Mocs. A walk, no one left on. We are halfway home here on this Friday night in Lakeland, Florida. Mocs lead at 2-1 over the Spartans here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. we go to inning number 5. Mox with a 2-1 lead here over the University of Tampa Spartans, thanks to that Safrowich home run in the 4th. That now gives him a 14-game hitting streak. And again, we mentioned earlier, there was a lot of hitting streaks, but the way this game has gone so far with pitching dominating, some of those may go away, but we'll see. We still got a long way to go here. Mox have the one hit. They're getting out hit 6-1 so far here in the game, but that one hit was a blast by Safrowich, and that is the difference in the game. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Deontay Starks to start it off. He grounded out to Urso at short back in the 3rd inning. He is 0 for 1. It's Starks, Relaford, and then Jeff LaCourie, first 3 scheduled batters for the Mocs. Michael Paul on the mound has pitched really well, and he pitched a called strike here to Starks, 0-1. Giving up only the one hit, but again, he hit a batter, and that batter came in to score. Right now, that's the difference in the game. 0-1 on Starks, and he swings through that pitch. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Dusk is starting to come here a little bit in Lakeland. Again, daylight savings makes a big difference. Just off the plate, 1-2 to Starks. Mox would like to get a few more here. 1-2 way outside, 2-2. Not much wind, if any, here today. Maybe blown a little bit right to left. Pitch is hit high into the air. See who's going to get this. It looks like the right fielder's going to camp under it, and that's Cumbo making the catch for out number 1. Starks hit it pretty well, but got under it just a tad. So here's Jevin Relaford. He also grounded out to Urso back in the 3rd, so he is 0 for 1. Pitcher's duel so far, no doubt about that. Pitch is way outside as Relaford showed bunt. Got Nunez's attention at 3rd. 1-0 count now on Jevin Relaford. Fastball right down Broadway, 1-1. Game in the bottom of the 5th, all runs in the 4th, 1 for Tampa, 2 for the Mocs. Outside, 2-1. Should be a hitter's pitch here now for Relaford. Came in at 268. Hard ground ball to 3rd. It goes right past the 3rd baseman Nunez into left field and hit number 2 in the game for the Mocs. Nunez came up empty on that one. So Relaford at first now with 1 gone, and we get back to the top of the order with LaCourie.
Next up, number 6, Jeff LaCourie.
He is grounded to second, fly to right, 0 for 2. Relaford is 3 for 3 in steals this year. Mock's really good, 26 of 29. And LaCourie can handle the bat. Pitch is hit, 1 hop down the line at first. Chased the curveball out of the zone. It's 0-1 now on LaCourie. Elrico Riley on deck.
Same fielding position as we saw in the last at-bat for LaCourie, where we got 3 short, second, and first, all on the right part of the infield.
The shift is on. Pitch is outside for a ball, 1-1. Well, Major League Baseball has outlawed it. You have to have feet on the dirt, and you can only have 2 on each side. Oh, they're going to figure out a way to cheat. I guarantee you. 1-0 pitch, they got to get back in a hurry. Or 1-1, rather. Yeah, the Major Leaguers will figure it out. And Relaford kind of teasing here. Again, he'd love to get into scoring position here at second. So that's 2 now over there. So let's see what that exactly means here. He's got to throw to home plate. And a little bit bigger lead. Not going. And the pitch by to LaCoury is fouled off to our left here on the screen.
Something that we kind of brought up in terms of the pitch clock and stuff and a buzzer, this particular field umpire, very, I guess not exaggerate, but you can see him, he just made a click.
Yep.
So that's him starting his clock. Sometimes you'll see a little wavy motion as a reset for the time.
1-2
That's
pitch
a
is
stop,
low
but
for a
we'll
ball.
see.
They're going to throw it into center field. Relaford's going to get up and head over to third, and he's going to get there standing up. It'll be a stolen base, wild pitch. And Jevin Relaford now in third with one gone here in the fifth inning. Error on the catcher on the throw. Boy, Garavito threw it to his left side of second base. I'm not sure where he was going with that. Infield comes up now for the Spartans. And again, as Clay mentioned, it is a shift. You can see three infielders on the right side of the bag at second. 1-2. Fouled again by LaCoury, just protecting himself at home plate. LaCoury with 31 runs driven in this season. At his first in the Sunshine State Conference. In fact, Jeff, in the top 10 in 6 different categories. Swung on and missed. He chased it out of the zone, and they got to throw down to get him out. Well, I know he'd like to have that back. 4 strikeouts now for Michael Paul. So that's going to leave it up to Elrico Riley, who was fan and fly to center 0 for 2. So a chance here for Riley to try to get Relaford in. Probably going to need a hit to do it. Pitch is hit in the air, foul out of play. Off the screen again. And it's 0-1. Mox could sure use that third run. Pitch is low, and it's 1-1. Infield obviously has gone back now to normal depth. 1-1 on Elrico Riley. 13 driven in this year. Low, 2-1. Relaford the runner at third with 2 gone. Paul to the belt. 2-1. Chopper towards first, going to be picked up by Discover. Throw to the pitcher covering, and they got it in time. Doskow made a nice play, and Paul got over there to cover just in time to get Elrico Riley out to end the inning. The Mocs get a hit, and they leave 1 runner on. We go to the 6th. 2-1 Florida Southern on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We go to the top of the box, have a 2-1 lead here on the University of Tampa. And for the Spartans, they will bring up the 5, 6, and 7 batters here in the order against Nate Madej. It'll be Santiago Garavito, Anthony Nunez, and E.J. Cumbo. This is the order that got the Spartans their run in the 4th inning off of Nate Madej. Garavito had a double, and an RBI single by Cumbo got him in. Well, we mentioned earlier as well that Midday has not gone more than 6. In fact, no mock starter is going more than 6. I don't know, Clay. I'm getting a feeling if he's really solid through this inning, we're going to see more of him.
Maybe he has 94 pitches.
Okay, that's
bit,
a lot.
So,
yeah, that's
maybe
a lot.
not.
Yeah,
But
you're right. You're right. No, that's true.
But he has thrown over 100 pitches. He's going to get it here
Okay.
for sure. But he has thrown over 100 this season so far.
Curveball for a strike.
And we kind of talked off air too. It's been such a busy week for the Mocs.
Yeah.
With 3 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against IUP. A lot of pitchers used during that time. So we'll see how, fatigued, if anything, the bullpen is, how strategic Ryan Block, the pitching coach, wants to be for that, how aggressive we want to be. I know if Nate, at least being in the bullpen on the road and stuff occasionally, if he's good and he wants to go,
they'll let him go.
I think they're going to give him a go. So, we've seen that work out really well. We've seen it work out maybe not as well. We're going to see probably some fatigue here, but, he seems to be throwing pretty well. I'm trying to sneak some peeks here at the Tampa.
Ground ball
radar.
towards short. Big hop for Rutherford. The throw to the Corey in time. 1 away. So Garavito out here in the 6th inning. That'll get Anthony Nunez to the plate. He is fanned and grounded out 0 for 2.
And with the field and having dirt, those kind of bounces, you just never know. So we've seen it go kind of a different way this whole season. Just kind of depends where it hits. We've seen some slow tricklers that maybe the fielders kind of pushed back a little bit, thinking it's going to continue to trickle, and then it takes a wrong bounce. And that's just, I think, the name of the game. Something to note, Tampa went to completely turf for their field. Not sure how much of an impact that is. Rollins, I know, has a partially turf baseball field. So
1 ball, 1 strike to count here after the first pitch to Nunez was an absolutely savage curveball. 1-2 pitch. That's hit in the air. Let's see where it's going to go. I think it's heading into center field. Or check that, back out towards second where it's going to be caught out there by D'Onofrio for out number 2. So that'll get E.J. Combo to the plate. All he's done today is get 2 hits and driven in a run. He came in batting .412. He's going to move that up. That was 7th in the Sunshine State Conference. 2 outs, no one on here in the 6th. Great curveball by Midday. When he's on, my goodness, he's on. 0-1 here on Combo. Outside on that curveball, it's 1-1.
103 pitches right now, 2 outs. We may, we'll see what kind of happens here, but could see some more time for Nate Midday.
0-1 is high, 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, rather. 2-1 the count here on Combo. 2 gone, no one on. Midday is now retired 5 of the last 6. And that's a curveball. Back to the screen is 3-1. Midday has walked 2, and it's actually only 1 guy. Urso has walked twice. 3-1 count here on Combo. Luis Rodriguez is on deck. Midday winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. Great curveball. It took off, too. Deep break on that thing just at the last second. I think Combo thought it was in his sights. Full count on the Spartan right fielder. Pitch on the way. Got him. Strike 3. How about Nate Midday? Holy mackerel. Up and down the north. There go the Spartans here in the 6th. Mocs lead it 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mocs with a 2-1 lead, and they're going to bring up the heart of the order. It'll be Kavanaugh, Safrowicz, and Connor Berry. First 3 scheduled batters in against Michael Paul. And if Paul has learned anything in this game, it's do not hit Drew Kavanaugh. He has hit Kavanaugh twice, and the second time, Safrowicz followed with a home run, and that is the difference in this game right now. Spartans are out hitting the Mocs 6-2. But Tampa has left 6 runners on in their 6 times to the bat here against Nate Madej. And, of course, I guess our big thing will Madej come out for inning number 7? We will just have to wait and see. We do not see the Mocs bullpen from our vantage point here. So we have no real idea whether or not there has been anybody warming up in that pen for Florida Southern. We can see Tampa's to a degree, but not great there either. First pitch is low to Kavanaugh, 1-0. Kavanaugh's got a 15-game hitting streak, and that doesn't mean you get hit. He actually has a hitting streak. 1-0, and the ball is hit into right center field. That could be trouble. It's going to go back, and it's going to be caught in right center field by Cumbo for out number 1. Boy, he hit it well, but Cumbo had a beat on it all the way and got it. Looked like he was just about on that warning track in right center field.
Bryce Safrowicz.
So here's Safrowicz. He's the hero up to now with that big home run, his 6th of the season in the 4th inning. That extended his hitting streak to 14 games. First pitch by Paul will be a curveball low, 1-0. These 2 powerful hitting teams, they have not been able to get it untracked against some really good pitching here tonight. Line shot into left field. That's going to get down. Or let's see, it will get down. It'll go to the wall. Safrowicz will go to second, will stand up with a double with 1 away. Great effort by DeMarcus Lyons, and I actually thought originally the ball was going to be a little bit further down that line than it was. Lyons gave it all he had, but just could not get it.
Connor Berry.
So that is hit number 3 for the Mocs, 2 in the game for Safrowicz. Here is Connor Berry, the designated hitter, who's grounded to third and popped to short, 0 for 2. Mocs got a runner to third in the 5th inning, couldn't push him in. Let's see if they can get Safrowicz in here. Pitch to Berry, wild pitch back to the screen, that'll help. Safrowicz will go to third, where he is now with 1 out, so that's going to bring the Spartan infield in. We're in the 6th inning of a 2-1 game. Spartans are not going to give up a run if they don't have to. 1-0 the count here on Berry. Paul to the belt. 1-0. Good fastball, 1-1. And Paul has lived down around the knees all night and has been successful for the most part. 1-1. Line shot into right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. And that's going to get Safrowicz in with run number 3. The Mocs take a 3-1 lead. RBI number 18 this season for Connor Berry.
For the Mocs. Score is Florida Southern 3, Tampa 1.
And for Connor Berry, his 77th career RBI here at Florida Southern. So here's Mitch D'Onofrio, who has flied to center and walked 0 for 1. Pitch by Paul will be a strike, 0-1. D'Onofrio came in at .309 with 6 homers and 20 driven in. He has hit in 8 of his last 10 games. Swung on and missed on a good pitch by Paul. It's 0-2. Mocs now with 4 base hits in the game. And I think a lot of us here thought Cumbo was going to try to catch the ball in right field. Everybody held up. In fact, the runner, Safrowicz, he just stayed at third until he saw the ball hit as it's a foul now, 0-2. Did you think he was going to catch it?
I didn't think so from off the bat. I was kind of surprised that Bryce was holding up, and he had to book it too to, actually get in the score. Perhaps a little stronger, more directed throw could have been a little closer to plate than probably Sofrowicz wanted. That's
another wild pitch back to the screen, and that's going to send Barry into scoring position at second. He makes the wide turn, but goes back.
Good stop there. I think that was going to be probably a little too close for Barry coming to third.
So if you think about it, Paul, as well as he has pitched, has hit 2 batters, and one of them came in to score. He wild pitched the runner into scoring position at third, and he came in on a single, and now another wild pitch, and a runner at second with only 1 out. And that's close to a wild pitch, a nice stop by Garavito at home plate.
That's 3 wild pitches for him there. Yeah, that's kind of tough. And like you said, he's been pitching very well, for the most part, I felt like. But Mock's taking advantage of some of these mistakes. An error on the side of wild pitch, and then an error by catcher there, Garavito, a little earlier in the last inning. So just making sure that plate there is getting changed. So I think we're going to have a little.
Yeah, it looks like maybe his catcher shield there broke or something. That's what it looks like. Yeah, he's going to get a new one. So time is called momentarily while the catcher resuits here, I guess you could say. Gets dressed again. Count is 2-2 here on D'Onofrio. The runner at second is Connor Berry. Got the RBI on that base hit. That combo maybe was deking some people. Maybe he tried to deke us all here. I'm not sure. But it did drop in. 2-2 pitch. That's way inside. 3-2. And we do see some activity down in the bullpen for Tampa down the third base line here.
And I think they've already had a mound visit, correct? I believe it was the assistant pitching coach.
Yeah, you're right, because that was during my interview there. You're right.
Yeah, so.
Full count pitch on the way. Chop foul down the line at third. We'll do it again at 3-2 strikes. Well, Kavanaugh flied out to open the inning. Safrowicz double down the line and left. Great effort by Lyons on the play. Wild pitch and then a base hit by Barry. There's a shot. It's going to be near the first base bag. Second base gets it. Nobody's going to be out. Infield single for Mitch D'Onofrio. And on the play, Connor Berry goes to third. How about that? That's another one of those triangle plays. It gets between 3 different guys, and nobody can make a play on it. Earhart, the second baseman, is the one who finally got it, but no chance to get the speedy D'Onofrio, who is on now, with 1 away, and now runners at the corners for Sean Riley. Riley is fanned twice. They're going to be a time called here. And let's see if there will be a pitching change. Usually the manager comes out, so this will probably be just a little conversation. And if the pitcher, let's see what he does here. Yeah, they're just going to conversation. All he's doing is just giving the pitcher down in the bullpen a little bit more chance to warm up here. It's 3-2 strikes here. Or rather, let's check that. Riley is out. Riley is the batter here now. There was a base hit by D'Onofrio. So there is only 1 out. There is Barry at third and D'Onofrio at first. And Sean Riley is the hitter. Riley was 6 for 11 in that Indiana University Pennsylvania series. He's got a 15-game hitting streak. Sam Militello, the pitching coach for the University of Tampa, associate head coach. And I remember him from his major league days. And he was a good one. So here is Riley. Can the Mocs break this thing open right here? Maybe have a chance to do that. They're starting to get to Paul a little bit, and Paul has hurt himself. Righty set. Pitch is slam foul down the line at third. And he snowballs in 1 strike here on Sean Riley. Paul comes to the belt. Runner leads away at first and at third. Pitch is hit on the ground is short. Urso to second for 1. The first a double play. 6-4-3 double play, and that gets the Spartans out of a major jam here in the 6th. But the Mocs do get a run. They do it on 3 base hits, and they will leave 1 runner on. We go to the 7th. Mocs lead at 3-1 over the Spartans on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We go to the 7th, and our question has been answered. Nate Madej comes back out for the Mocs to start the 7th inning here. He has a 3-1 advantage. If he gets 1 out, he will have pitched longer than any Mocs starter this season. There have been 6 innings has been the limit that a Mocs starter has gone. And, Clay, we talked about that, and we'll let you announce first, and then we'll talk about a little bit here. We'll see how long this goes here. Luis Rodriguez is the scheduled batter here for Tampa to open the 7th inning. It's the 8-9-1 hitters in the order for the Spartans. Rodriguez, Lyons, and then back to Lala at the top of the order. We'll see how long he goes here, Clay. I'm not sure. You have him over 100 pitches right now, right?
107.
Yeah, that's pretty high. That's getting up there.
I mean, he's gone like 120 in some games, but that's inside there.
And that's going to hit him. That is going to hit Rodriguez to open the 7th inning. That curveball got away from Nate a little bit.
Next up, number 0, Jamarcus.
So here's Jamarcus Lyons, who was flied to left and popped to LaCourie at first. 0 for 2. And let's see how Madej handles this one. First pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. Well, Lyons does not have a sacrifice. And the Spartans have only sacrificed 11 times, so I think he's swinging away. 2-0 now on Lyons. Little bit of a trouble spot here for Nate and the Mocs in the 7th. 2-0 to Lyons. Check swing called. Strike 2-1 inside corner. Two one to Lyons. Rodriguez at first. Not a particularly big lead. Pitch is fouled out of play, and now it's 2-2. So a good job by Madej to battle back from that 2-0 count. Madej getting back up on the hill. Rodriguez leads the way at first. Again, not a big lead. LaCourie holds him on. 2-2. Inside ball 3. Mocs were looking for strike 3, but didn't get it. So the count is full now on Lyons. Will Rodriguez go at first? Unlikely, I think, but you never know. He does not have a steal, so maybe not. We'll see. 3-2 pitch, not going. Foul down the line at third, and we'll do it again. Madej is just battling here right now. Mocs could sure use a nice little ground ball to one of the middle infielders. Madej ready. 3-2 pitch. High fly ball. Should be playable. Right center field. Two guys coming over, and the ball is going to drop. And all hands are going to be safe. The ball is going to drop between Riley and Starks in right center field. On the play, Rodriguez gets the second. Lyons gets the first. We'll have to wait on the official ruling here. Now the Mocs are in trouble. First and second, nobody out. Well, Riley came a long, long way to try to make the catch on that ball. It looked to me like it was Starks' ball in center. So time called here now. They're going to have a little conference on the mound without, it looks like. The pitching coach, Ryan Block, is going to come out here. So they're going to talk things over here right now with the Mocs leading it 3-1 here in the 7th inning. But the Spartans with the first 2 runners aboard and the top of the order, Jordan Lala coming up. Clay, tough spot right now for the Mocs, no question about it. So let's see. I mean, this would be an ideal situation to bunt and move 2 guys over, but you don't see that in baseball very often. Lala does have 1 sacrifice this year. Sean Riley at third, not in very far. LaCourie in on the grass at first. Lala is 0 for 3. He's showing bunt right there. Takes it way outside, 1-0. Well, on the play, it looks like Riley is going to stay at third, so the Mocs are going to try to get a force. And it's going to force either Madej or LaCourie to field the bunt if he gets it down. Maybe the catcher, Kavanaugh. Depends on where it goes. Let's see if he's doing it again. He is showing bunt, 1-0. Call strike 1-1. And I don't think Mr. Lala liked that call one bit. LaCourie is really in close. But I think he knows he's got to get it. Now let's see if he does it again. It is 1-1 here on Lala. He's showing it. He's doing it. Bunted down the line. Play to third. Madej got him in time. Great job by Madej. He gets Rodriguez by an eyelash. And a good play to keep Riley back where he was. So to be a fielder's choice for Lala. On the play, Lyons goes to second. So now it is first and second with 1 gone, and Earhart coming up. So the sacrifice did not work, and that's only because of Nate Madej throwing an absolute bullet to Riley at third.
May have been why we saw Sean Riley there kind of hover and stay in his little spot, making sure to keep that. But great on the moment kind of thinking of let's stop the movement progression of these base runners.
Great curveball, 0-1 here now on Earhart. Earhart is fan, grounded out, and got a single back in the first, 1 for 3.
119 pitches for Madej.
High pop-up, out of play. And now it's 0-2. Well, I would think one thing is almost certain. This is the final inning for Nate Madej. But can he get out of it unscathed? That's the key. 0-1. Way out, 1-1. One and one on Drew Earhart. Lyons at second, Lala at first. 1 gone. Top of 7, Mocs by 2. Pitch by Madej. High pop-up. Will this stay in play? Maybe. Nope. Going to get out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Earhart. Urso is next for the Spartans as they get into the 3-4-5 area of their batting order. And right now, Nate Madej just grinding a little bit here. Could really use a punch out. He's had 6 so far in the game. 1-2. Popped it up again, and this one's going to get out of play. Not staying in the ballpark here. One, 2 the count on Earhart. Madej needs one of those back-breaking curveballs right here. Long look into Kavanaugh for the sign. 1-2. High 2-2 on the fastball. Lions at second can run. So can Lala at first. Wind kicking up a little bit, right to left. 2-2. Long fly ball left field. Back to the fence, and it's going to go off the wall. In to score is Lions. Stopping at third is Lala. It's a double for Drew Earhart, and now it is 3-2, and runners at second and third for the Spartans. Earhart's second hit of the game.
Next up, number 11, J.D. Urso.
So here's J.D. Urso coming up.
Tampa 2.
And the mock infield will be up. Now first base is open. Urso has walked twice and singled. Key moment of the game right here. Madej to the belt. First pitch to Urso. Way outside. Nice catch by Drew Kavanaugh. 1-0. Lala at third. And Earhart at second. Big hit by Earhart. Got the run in. One 0. Oh, what a curveball. 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Urso. Mox need a ground ball to one of the infielders in the worst way. One, way out, 2-1. Pitch count wise, Madej getting into a little bit of uncharted territory here. But I know they want to try to get him through the 7th if they can. Two, 1. Pitch high, ball 3. Well, we mentioned first base is open, but don't think you want to put him there with a cleanup batter coming up, although Doskow is 0 for 3 today. Madej to the belt. 3-1. Strike 2. I was going to say struck him out, but strike 2.
I
Full
thought so
count.
too, yeah. And we have a working scoreboard this time, so it's a bummer.
Full count on Urso. Lala at third, Earhart at second. Big pitch coming up. High, ball 4, and that'll load him up. 3 walks by Madej, all to Urso. So bases loaded, 1 gone. And Doskow, the batter, fouled out into right field on a great play by Riley and grounded to third to the other Riley. Mox need a double play, or they need a chance to get one here. And Madej remains in the game. Lefty to the belt. First pitch. Called strike 0-1. Madej with 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, all to Urso. Oh, 1 pitch. Foul down the line at third, and now Madej has Doskow at 0-2. Lala at third, Earhart at second, Urso at first. 1 out and 1 in here in the 7th. Madej set. 0-2. Popped it up. Will it stay in play? It looks like it will. A big out if they can make it. Riley for the second out. A huge out in this game. But he needs one more. And it's Santiago Garavito who got a double and scored back in the fourth. He is 1 for 3. Now there's a force at any base, so that makes things a little easier here if they can get a ground ball.
$134 pitches for Madej.
Whoa.
It's a few.
Yes, it is. Long look to Kavanaugh. Wants to be sure. First pitch to Garavito is swung on and missed, 0-1.
And that clock doesn't start until they receive the signal from the catcher. So, having that time, you can see him now. He's waiting for it. Okay, he feels like he gets it. All right, now I can start my clock here now.
0-1. Hit him. And that's going to tie the game. Garavito gets hit. Lala scores. Earhart moves to third. Urso to second.
Game tied 3-3.
And we are all even at 3 here in the seventh. Well, we mentioned that hit batsman did hurt Paul, the Tampa starter. This one hurts Nate Madej. Bases loaded. Here is Nunez, who was 0 for 3. Struck out, popped out to second, grounded to second. Spartans have evened it up. Pitch is high and away, 1-0. One ball, no strikes here. Nunez at the plate, and Madej fires away, and it's fouled out of play, 1-1. Earhart at third, Urso at second, Garavito at first. Garavito with an RBI. 1-1. High 2-1. Two balls, one strike on Nunez. Madej set. And the pitch. Fouled back to us. It's 2-2. Madej is battling here, no question about it. The ultimate competitor here. Big deep breath. Comes set, 2-2. Fouled out of play to the right. And we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spartans with 2 in the 7th have tied this thing at 3. Madej ready. And the pitch. Way outside, full count. He knew it. He was pretty angry with himself on that one. So, 3-2, 2 outs. 3-3 tie. Runners are going to be going. What more could you ask for? Long look by Madej. Now he has what he wants. 3-2. Strike 3. He fans Nunez for his 7th strikeout. And the Florida Southern College Mocs get out of a tough spot here in the 7th. Tampa does get 2. There was a key mock error. There was a key hit batsman. There were a couple of Spartan hits, and 3 big ones are left on. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 3-3 tie between the Mocs and Spartans here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. New pitcher for the Spartans as we get set to start play here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Braden Nelson coming on. He is 3-0 this season with a 3.72 ERA. This is his 9th appearance, all out of the bullpen. 19 1/3 innings, 19 hit, 8 runs, all earned, 7 walks, 23 strikeouts in 19 1/3 innings. And opposing hitters batting .279 against Braden Nelson. So he will come on to face the Mocs, the lower part of the Mocs order. Starks, Relaford, and then back to Jeff LeCoury here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And I would certainly think that Nate Baday's day is done. Michael Paul's is. He goes 6, gives up 7 hits, 3 runs all earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And now it becomes Nelson's game to win or lose as the Mocs come up in the 7th after Tampa hits Florida Southern with a 2 spot in the top of the 7th.
Number 5, Deontay Starks.
So here's Deontay Starks. He has grounded a short fly to right, 0 for 2. 3-3 our score. Boy, what a big punch out by Madej. First pitch is inside and high, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes here on Starks. Out of Ocala, Indian River State Junior College, and he swings and fouls it 1-1. Well, you heard one of our guests earlier today, Terry Cassine, I believe, was the guy talking about it, about how junior colleges in where he was in California and Arizona were so good. Well, they're really big here, too. Junior college baseball in this state is really something. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Nelson is out of Brooksville, Ohio, Division I transfer from St. Bonaventure. 2-1, fouled out of play. It's 2-2. Tampa got 2, but boy, it could have been worse. A huge strikeout by Madej to end the inning. Pitch is just up, 3-2. Pretty good pitch by Nelson. (3-2). Fouled again, back to the screen. Spartans with 7 hits, Mocs with 5, each team with an error. Error was given on that fly ball that both the center fielder Starks and Elrico Riley and Wright did not handle in that inning. Three 3-2 count here on Starks, trying to get on to get the 7th underway. Fouled it again to the right. Think the ump may need some baseballs, but not yet. Nelson ready, 3-2. Check swing, ball 4, low and inside. Big walk to start the bottom of the 7th. Got to get Relaford to the plate. And again, are you playing station-to-station baseball here?
Up next, number 42, Jevin Relaford.
Relaford has the only 2 sacrifices that the Mocs have executed this year. Nunez at third is in on the grass. throw to first, and ooh, that was pretty close. That's a good move by Nelson. Well, when you swing the bats like the Mocs do, you don't sacrifice too often. He's showing it, takes it low for a ball, 1-0. And boy, Nunez was in there quick at third base. One and 0 on Relaford. Starks leads away at first. Shows bunt and dropped it down the line. That's a good one. Throw to the first in time. A nice play by Doskow, who goes to Earhart covering the bag at first. And on the play, Starks goes to second. A 3-4 sacrifice if you're keeping the book at home. And now a runner in scoring position with one away.
Jeff LaCory.
Well, how many times have we seen Jeff LaCory come up in this situation? A whole bunch. And they're going to walk him. They're just going to put him on. They're not going to bother with him. Intentional walk to LaCory. And that's going to get Elrico Riley to the plate. Riley is 0 for 3 in the game. Fan fly to center and grounded out first baseman to pitcher covering the bag in the fifth. So first and second, one away on the perfectly executed bunt by Relaford. His third sacrifice of the year, and that's what the Mocs have as a team. Well, Riley won't be bunting. One gone. Pitch, check swing. Did he go? He did. 0-1.
This is a good game here, Jim.
Oh, it sure is. And it's been good from the very beginning. Been a great night here. 0-1. Shot, foul down the line at first. 0-2 here now on Elrico Riley. Runner at second is Starks with one away. Nelson to the belt. Looks the runner back. 0-2, swung on and missed. And he is out, number 2. So the first strikeout for Nelson. Fifth mock to go down. And now here is Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh's been hit with a pitch twice by Paul and flied out to Cumbo in right to open the sixth inning. Got a chance to be a hero for the Mocs with runners at first and second. Nelson ready. Pitch is fouled off to the left and out of play. It's 0-1. Oh, and 1 on Cavanaugh. 1-1. Transfer from Eastern Florida State Community College. Out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. 1-1. Ground ball. It's going to go through in the left center field for a base hit. Rounding third on his way in is Starks. He will score standing up. Heading over to third is LaCory. The Mocs take a 4-3 lead here in the seventh. RBI single for Drew Cavanaugh.
Run by the Mocs makes the score. Florida Southern 4, Tampa 3.
A big hit by the Mocs backstop. And LaCory with his speed had no problem getting over to third. So now runners at the corners with 2 gone. And here is Bryce Safrowicz, who hit one out of here in the fourth and doubled in the sixth. Mocs have answered back here in the bottom of the seventh and may want to try to equalize that 2 spot in the seventh that the Spartans got. Swing and a miss by Safrowicz, 0-1. Safrowicz from James Madison University, Division I transfer. Out of Richmond. 0-1. Just low, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Safrowicz. And boy, has he had a night tonight for the Mocs. Nelson ready. And a pitch. Fly ball deep left center field. That should get down. No, it will not. It will be caught out there by Lyons, the speedy DeMarcus Lyons. who ran it down in left center field for the third out to retire the side. But the Mocs get a run. There was 2 hits, there were no errors, and there was 2 left on. We go to the top of the 8th. 4-3 Mocs on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Well, Nathan Madey's night is done. Andrew Williamson will come on here for the Mocs. Madey winds up going 7, gives up 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. A lot of 7s there for Nate Madey. Andrew Williamson on now, and now it becomes a chance for the Mocs to protect the lead and maybe get Madey his 5th win of the season. Andrew Williamson will be making his 10th appearance of the season. He has pitched 11 1/3 innings, given up 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts, and an opponent batting average of 200 against Andrew Williams. His ERA is a really good 1.59. He will come in to pitch to the Spartans here in the 8th inning, and who knows, maybe further, we will see. And he has been given a 1-run lead to protect here. And it'll be the lower third of the Spartans batting order to start the 8th. E.J. Cumbo will start it. He'll be followed by Luis Rodriguez and Jamarcus Lyons unless there are any changes here. Cumbo so far has singled twice, drove in a run, and struck out back in the 6th. Great job by Nate Madey. And now the Mocs, by getting that run in the 7th, give him a chance maybe to get out of here with a win. Let's see, though. Got 2 big innings to go, 6 outs. And they won't be easy. Williamson's first pitch to Cumbie right down Broadway, 0-1. Well, Clay, you've seen this guy pitch a lot. I know he's had a really good season.
He's had a really good few appearances. His last couple times out, coming in when he needs to, retiring the batters, getting a good few strikeouts. So I'm not surprised at all to see him come in. Hopefully retire this whole inning. I think there's a chance he only goes 1.
Okay.
But, someone obviously, he can go a good few innings. But I think kind of pulling the big guns out to keep this 1-run lead here at the top of the 8th.
Pitch is inside for a ball. It's 1-2 now on Cumbo.
And I talked about it a little earlier. Last year, winning game 1 of a 3-game series against Tampa is big. I think that carries a lot of momentum going into a doubleheader.
And the pitch is low now. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff batter here in the 8th inning. E.J. Cumbo. 2-2. Inside, ball 3. Mock fans thought it was strike 3. But unfortunately, they don't count. Full count pitch on the way to Cumbo. Line shot into left field. It will be gloved out there by Bryce Safrowitz, who had Cumbo played perfectly. 1 gone here in the 8th.
Next up, number 13, Luis Rodriguez.
Williamson out of St. John's, Florida, redshirt junior. 6'4", and he looks every bit of it out there on the mound. So here is Rodriguez. Rodriguez has singled, flied out, got hit with a pitch, 1 for 2. One gone, no one on, top of the 8th. Mocs with a 4-3 lead. Pitch by Williamson. Good curveball, 0-1. His 24th career appearance here for the Mocs. He has made 5 starts in his career here. 0-1 hit him, or did it? Yes, it did. Thought so. That's the second time he's been hit in the game. 3 Spartan batters have now been hit, and the tying run goes to first for Jamarcus Lyons. Got on that error in right center field where Starks and Riley did not get the ball. He had since had flight, or previous had flight out and popped out. So 0 for 3 officially, but he did score a run. We may get a pinch runner here. It looks like for Rodriguez. And it looks like it's T.J. Palma. So T.J. Palma will run at first for Rodriguez. Now, he is the designated hitter, so we do not know whether Palma stays in the game after this half inning. But he is at first with nobody out. Here is DeMarcus Lyons. He is not showing bunt. He takes the pitch high for a ball, 1-0. Again, it seems like I'm talking bunts a lot in a game where these two teams hit over 300. But we're in a one-run situation here. And the goal is to get that tie. If you're the Spartans, the goal is to get that tying run in. And there's a conference on the mound, and that may be what it's about. We'll see. Riley, the third baseman for the Mocs, he is way deep protecting the line. So we will see. Williamson ready. 1-0. Chopper foul down the line at third. And it's 1-1 strike here now on Lyons. Jordan Lala on deck. We'll get back to the top of that Spartan order. And that means one more time through that Tampa lineup here in the ninth. Runner leads away. Pitch is swung on and foul ticked. It's 1-2. Good hold there by Cavanaugh behind the plate. One and two on Lyons. Pitch on the way. Got him. Strike 3. Great pitch by Williamson. His first strikeout. 8 strikeouts for Mocs pitching. 2 gone now, and a runner at first for Lala, who was fanned twice against Madej. Got on a fielder's choice and scored and grounded out. So officially 0 for 4. And Williamson ready to go. Saw the click by the field ump. Mock righty delivers. Good pitch, strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here on Lala. Mocs lead it by 1 here in the 8th. 2 outs. And the pinch runner, Palma, at first. Just off the plate. And boy, I think the Spartans fans didn't like the first call. The Mocs fans didn't like that one. So I guess we're even. It's 1-1. One and one on Jordan Lala. Pitch on the way. Just off the plate on the curveball. It's 2-1. 2-1 on the Spartan center fielder. Palma at first, 2 gone here in the 8th. Pitch on the way. Swung on a miss. 2-2. Williamson working from the first base side of the rubber. Palma not going to run, I don't think. I couldn't see that here. Williamson ready. 2-2. Strike 3. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Williamson. 9 in the game for the Mocs. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Spartans will leave a runner on here in the top. Mocs lead at 4-3 on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Well, fans, what a night this has been. Mocs lead at 4-3 going to the bottom of the 8th. This has been alumni night. We're going to show you a picture of that 1978 national championship team of the Mocs. They were here earlier this evening. Also here earlier this evening is the 1988 national champion for Florida Southern. And boy, if the Mocs can hold on, get them out in the 9th, what a night this will be for the team from here in Lakeland, Florida. Well, Connor Berry will start it off bottom of the 8th. Berry got a huge hit in the 6th inning drive-in a run. He's 1 for 3 in the game. And again, as Clay mentioned earlier, with this being a 3-game series and a doubleheader tomorrow, winning game 1 would be big for the Mocs. First pitch to Berry is swung on a miss from Braden Nelson, starting his 2nd inning on the mound. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike on Berry. Pitch is chopped foul down the line at 3rd. Nice pickup by the coach over there. So Necro may get an assist. No balls and 2 strikes here on Connor Berry. Barry D'Onofrio and Sean Riley here in the 8th for Florida Southern. Pitch by Nelson, that's way out. It's 1-2. Went fishing and Berry didn't bite. And he's working quickly. Pitch by Nelson, that's called strike 3. And Berry, I don't think, liked it a whole lot. 2nd strikeout now for Braden Nelson. Berry out number 1. And that'll get Mitch D'Onofrio to the plate. He has walked, singled, and flied out. Mitch 1 for 2 in the game. Pitch by Nelson. Called strike 0-1. And he is throwing like Andrew Williamson did. He's throwing strikes. 0-1 count here on D'Onofrio. Way up 1-1. Mocs would love to get some insurance here in the 8th. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Good curveball that time by Nelson. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him again. They're going to have to go to tag them, actually. So 2 gone and 3 strikeouts for Braden Nelson. So to say he has given his team a chance here is to say the very least. So here's Sean Riley, who was fanned twice and hit into a double play. That double play ended the 6th inning. He is 0 for 3 here tonight. He's got a 15-game hitting streak on the line here. Pitch is hit on the ground, and there it's going to be a base hit. So now it's 16 games for Sean Riley. And he will be a 2-out base runner at first. Mocs will get their 7th hit.
Number 5, Deontay Starks.
So here is Starks. He has walked, scored, fly to right, and grounded out, 0 for 2. Riley at first. And 2 gone. Pitch is hit in the air to right center field. That ball will be caught, I think. He's out.
A great job. Wow,
Great catch in right field by Combo. The umpire made the call from second base, and the Mocs are out in the 8th. A tremendous play by E.J. Combo. In the 8th, the Mocs get a hit. They leave a runner on. We go to the 9th. Mocs lead it 4-3 here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Colin Camrick's going to try to close it out for the Mocs here in the ninth inning. Andrew Williamson, a really good eighth inning. Hit a batter but struck out two. And as we go to the ninth, Camrick will have his hands full because the Spartans will bring up the big guns. Earhart, Urso, and Doskow, the 2, 3, 4 batters in the order to face the right-hander, Colin Camrick. Camrick for the year is 1-0 with a 2.92. He has made 8 appearances and has 3 saves. So we mentioned earlier, he is the closer for this team. He's pitched 12 in the third inning, 7 hits, 4 runs all earned, 3 walks, 18 strikeouts in 12 in the third innings. And opposing hitters batting 167 against Colin Camrick. So he has been really tough for the Mocs this season in that closer role. And Camrick obviously has been here before. This is going to be his 41st career appearance. He's 4-3 overall, but his ERA is pretty high lifetime, but he has not had this. This year has been his year. He has 5 career saves for Florida Southern, so he is going for number 6 and number 4 this year. And he's going to face Drew Earhart, who was single, double, driven in a run, fanned, and grounded out. He is 2 for 4. Camrick ready. First pitch, bunted. That's a tough one. They better let it go, and they did. Foul ball. Boy, heads-up play by Sean Riley at third. That thing did not miss by much of staying in the baseline.
Had a couple of those that 3-game series against IUP, just some left field line out of nowhere bunts. Stayed in a couple times, and but a good heads-up play there, you said, by Riley.
So it's 0-1 here on Earhart. Grounds crew gets an assist on that one. 0-1. Way outside, back to the screen, 1-1. And boy, the danger right now, when you've got that lead in a game like this, tendency to overthrow. Got to be careful. 1-1 on Earhart. Came in at 277, but he has looked good at the plate. Pitch is outside, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way. Low ball 3. 3-1 now on Earhart. Boy, in college baseball, nothing comes easy, especially in games like this. And a timeout as Drew Cavanaugh goes to the mound to have a word or two. No concern about Camrick being locked in. Like I said earlier, though, he might have a tendency to overthrow here in this kind of situation. Get a little anxious. 3-1 count here on Earhart. Pitch on the way. That's ball 4. So Earhart draws a walk to open the ninth. And again, now when you're talking about a 1-run game, I think we may have a pinch runner here, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Pinch runner is coming in.
Pinch running for the Spartans, number 40, Jose Cadenas.
Jose Cadenas is the pinch runner here for Earhart. So will Mr. Urso be bunting here, try to get that runner in scoring position? It certainly would not surprise me. Again, we're talking about a one-run game. We're in the ninth. Spartans are down to their final 3 outs. Let's see what Urso does here. Riley is creeping in a little bit, not showing bunt, runner going, and it's fouled out of play. Boy, that was scary. Cadenas was off with the pitch. He does have 5 stolen bases this season, and he has not been caught. So the Mocs may have to watch him, and let's see if they bunt. I don't think so. Nope, runner going. Pitch is fouled out of play. So Urso is doing the Mocs a little bit of a favor because Cadenas is getting down there in a hurry. It's 0-2, and boy, if I'm Camrig, I do not waste one here. I go after him. Cadenas gets a lead at first. Not a big one. Not going. Got him. Strike 3. Huge strikeout for Colin Camrig, his 19th strikeout of the year. He gets the dangerous Urso for out number 1. So here is Doskell. He is the cleanup hitter, and he is an 0 for tonight, 0 for 4. Fanned, popped up, grounded out, and flied out on a great catch by Riley down in the right field foul area. Cadenas may be going again. Not going, pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. Well, the Mocs got a break a little bit, and that those 2 foul balls by Urso kept Cadenas from perhaps stealing second. 1-0, not going again. Pitch is hit out of play down to the right field line, and it's 1-1 here on Doskell. He came in at .377 with 5 home runs. He's had a great year. Remember earlier, he was a transfer from Valdosta State of the Gulf South Conference. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Chased the one out of the strike zone just a little bit. And Cadenas all of a sudden has not been going. But don't think he won't. 1-2, there he goes. Fouled out of play down the line and right. Let's see if Riley can run into this one. Nope, not going to get there. This may be the biggest foul territory I have seen anywhere. I take that back. I've been to games at the Oakland Coliseum, and that is huge. I think that foul territory stretches across the bay to San Francisco over there. I mean, it is big. This is huge here, too. And Riley gave it all he had. So it's 1-2. Cadenas not going. Pitch. Oh, it's shot into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Gloved by Starks. Cadenas will go to third and stay there on a single by Doskell. His first hit of the night in 5 trips to the plate. And now it is first and third with 1 out. And the batter is Santiago Garavito, the catcher, who has doubled, scored, hit with a pitch, got an RBI on the hit batsman. Flied out and grounded out. Now it's a tough spot. First and third with 1 out. Another little conference there with Kavanaugh and Camry. Well, he is the catcher. If they can get a ground ball, maybe. Let's see. And not to disparage catchers, but they generally don't run quite as well. 1-0 pitch now to Garavito after the pitch just outside. Camrig ready. 1-0. Outside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes here on Garavito. Mocs trying to win it here in the ninth. Spartans having something to say about it. 2-0. Outside, 3-0. Nunez on deck. And like Doskow, he's 0 for 4. 3-0 on the way. 3-1. And obviously, Garavito taking all the way. Three balls, one strike. Kamerick to the belt. And the pitch. Fly ball, center field. Now, will it get the run in? Cadenas can run. Yeah, it probably will. It's deep. It's going to be caught by Starks. Here comes the throw. No chance to get him. And the game is even at 4. So a sacrifice fly RBI for Garrido, his second RBI of the game, 12th of the season. And that means the Mocs got to come up in the 9th. Hit it deep. No chance for Starks to throw him out. Absolutely none. But fortunately on the play, Doskow did stay at first. That ball came all the way through. I think if Doskow had been watching, he might have been able to get to second. So here's Nunez. And the pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Nunez is fanned twice, popped out to second, and grounded to second. Mocs need it out. Need to get up here in the 9th. 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. A walk, single, and sac fly. Little manufacturing job there by the Spartans, but they got it done. 0-2 is shot. Oh, what a play by LaCoury. Holy mackerel. Jeff LaCoury just maybe saved the game for Florida Southern on that line drive by Nunez at first base. How in the world did he hold on to that one without ripping off his shoulder? So, a run for the Spartans in the 9th. They do it on one hit. There was a walk and one runner left on. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Time to go get a Mocs. Game all even at 4 on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Bottom of the 9th, Braden Nelson stays in for the Spartans, and we see maybe a little bit of walking around in their bullpen, but nobody really warming up right now. So this may be Nelson's inning for the University of Tampa Spartans. Game is all even at 4, and boy, this has been some kind of contest here tonight. Befitting two teams ranked in the top 25 in the nation in Division II college baseball. So here is Jevin Relaford, a single, a sacrifice, and a ground out, 1 for 2. Nelson starting his 3rd inning on the mound. Relaford hits a fly ball pretty deep center field. It's going to stay in the park for Lala, and he will gather it in for 1 away. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th, and here is Mr. LaCoury. Jeff had an intentional walk his last time up, but he's 0 for 3 otherwise. And his 15-game hitting streak is on the line. But boy, how many times have we seen him in this spot? Pitch by Nelson is hit in the air. Deep right center field. That ball is going to be caught at the right center field fence on a great catch by Lala. And there are 2 gone in the 9th. Holy cow. He hit it about as far as you could, very close to 400 feet. And Lala stayed with it all the way. Give him credit. He never lost sight of the ball and caught it up against the fence. I don't think it would have gone out, but it would have been off the fence. So here is Elrico Riley. He is 0 for 4 today. And the pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. Holy cow. The Mocs thought the game was over, and I think the Spartans did too. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss, 1-1. 2 gone, no 1 on here for the Mocs in the 9th. Boy, what a tough break. LaCory hit it about as well as you could. 1-1 is now 1-2. And Riley looks like he's fooled a little bit by Nelson. One, two. Got him, strike 3. And we are going to go to extra innings. As in the 9th, the Mocs go out in order, nothing across, but the near home run by LaCory was not to be. So we go to the 10th. Mocs and Spartans all even at 4 on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Lower third for the Spartans here in the top of the 10th inning. Colin Kammerig remains in the game here for Florida Southern. He pitched the 9th and gave up the tying run. See if he can atone himself here, give the Mocs a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. Boy, I thought we had a walk-off here in this one. Jeff LaCory hit it about as far as you possibly could in this park with it staying in. But a great play, and you have to give Jordan Lala a lot of credit on that play. He made a great play in center field because he could have given up on it too. I don't think it was going to go out as it turned out, but it certainly would have been off the fence. LaCory probably would have wound up at third.
In the top of the 10th up for the Spartans, number 19, E.J. Cumbo.
So here comes E.J. Cumbo, the right fielder. Boy, he's had a good night. 2 for 4, driven in a run. But they've got him his last 2 times at bat. He fanned in the 6th and flied to left in the 8th. Midday, Williamson, and Kammerig have been the pitchers for the Mocs. Paul and Nelson for Tampa. Pitch by Kammerig will be a called strike outside corner. 0-1 here to Cumbo. Cumbo with 19 runs driven in this season now after getting that RBI in the 4th. 0-1. Shot into center field, and that will be caught out there by Starks. Nice job by Deontay Starks. Ball was hit pretty hard by Cumbo. So 1 gone. And now we'll see who the hitter is here because Palma was the pinch runner for Rodriguez.
Is this 15 maybe?
So let's check the number out here. It looks like 15 is up, and this is Adam Hunt. Adam Hunt is going to be the hitter here.
For the Spartans, number 15, Adam Hunt.
So he will be a pinch hitter here with 1 out in the 10th inning. Hunt this season is hitting 167, 2 of 12. This is his 9th appearance of the year in a game. He's had 3 starts. 1 gone in the 10th. Pitch by Kammerig is low for a ball, 1-0. DeMarcus Lyons on deck. We think it looks like maybe a pinch hitter for him too. Pitch is outside, 2-0. Looks like Nico Saladino has grabbed the bat. And looks like he will pinch hit for Lyons. 2-0. Good curveball by Kammerig. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Adam Hunt. Pitch on the way. Just outside, 3-1. Boy, that looked awful good from here. 3-1 on Hunt. Kammerig ready. 3-1. Good curveball, 3-2. No doubt about that one. Hunt is at a Riverview High in Brandon. Normally a first baseman. 3-2, foul down the line and left out of play. And we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 gone, no one on, top of the 10th. We are all even at 4. And folks, we got 2 of these tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock. Weather permitting, but at one point early in the week they said 90%. Now it's down to 40. And there's a foul again off the screen to our left. And it remains 3-2. So pretty good chance, I think. Pitch by Kammerig. Fouled out of play again to the left. And on the roof here at historic Henley Field. Hunt is fouling off some good pitches here by Kammerig. 3-2. Line down the right field line, but it will be foul. Got out in front of it. Count remains full at 3-2. Well, it's the Mocs in Tampa. I mean, what did we expect? Kammerig in his second inning of work. Payoff again. Shot into center field, and that's going to get through for a base hit. So Adam Hunt comes off the bench, gets a single, only his 3rd hit of the year, and that's going to get another pinch hitter up, Nico Saladino. So Saladino, we're also going to have a pinch runner. And it looks like Jack Brodsky, I think. We'll check. It's McAllister Jorgensen at first. McAllister Jorgensen, the pinch runner at first for Adam Hunt. Pitch is fouled off to the left and out of play by Saladino. Saladino for the season is hitting .244, 10 for 41. This is his 18th game. There's a wild pitch. Oh, hit him rather. Hit him. And now it's first and second with 1 out. So Saladino goes to first. And the pinch runner, Jorgensen, is at second. And Ryan Block, the Mocs pitching coach, on his way to the mound. And they certainly do need to do this. Because after the first guy went out, now it's 2 on and only 1 away. Infield gathered around the mound, as you might expect. And we're going to get back to the top of that Tampa order. And right now the hero of this game for Tampa, Jordan Lala, is scheduled up. Lala's great catch in center field off the ball that LaCory hit that certainly looked like it was gone. But now the Mocs have themselves a little bit of a problem. Lala up for the 6th time in the game, looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 5. Fanned 3 times, got on in a fielder's choice and scored a run back in that 7th inning. Pitch by Camrick. Call strike 0-1, and that's where Colin Camrick is really good. Down around the knees. Jorgensen at second, Saladino at first. 1 gone. Pitch is fouled just off to our left here, and thank God for screens. No balls and 2 strikes on Lala. Lala came in hitting .360. I mean, he's been a good hitter all year, but he is 0 for 5 so far today. Camrick ready. 0-2, way up 1-2. A nice catch by Cavanaugh. Had to come out of his crouch. 1-2 count on Lala. Camrick ready. 1-2. Shot into left field. Base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third. It's station-to-station baseball. Jorgensen to third. Saladino to second. Lala with his first hit on at first. And now with the bases loaded, we're going to see Cadena come up, I believe, for the first time. It is Jose Cadena. He's a senior out of Hillsborough Community College and Gaither High in Tampa. Bases are loaded. Now, if you're the Mocs, first and third is coming home without a doubt. Second and short, they're playing back. Looks like they want to try to get 2. This kid can fly. Swing and a miss, 0-1. And if you're Camrick, you want a punch out right here. Jorgensen at third, Saladino at second, Lala at first. 1 away in the 10th. Swing and a miss. Foul tick maybe. 0-2. This is where Camrick needs to punch out. The dangerous J.D. Urso on deck. Camrick ready. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. 2 away. And here comes Urso. Second strikeout for Camrick. Urso in the game. 3 walks, a single, and a strikeout. Force at any base for the Mocs. Camrick trying to get out of trouble in the 10th. First pitch, called strike, 0-1. And again, if he can live down there, he's going to be successful. Oh, 1 count on Urso. Camrick ready. Outside curveball, 1-1. Tried to get Urso to bite, but no dice. 1-1 count. Pitch by Camrick. Inside, 2-1. Or remember, no place to put him. Two and one. Pitch on the way. Ground ball towards short. Going to be tough. Got to go. Long throw to first. It's going to be not in time. A run scores, and Tampa takes a 5-4 lead. Infield single for Urso. On the play, Jorgensen scores. Saladino goes to third. Lala to second. And Urso with the RBI single at first. And now it's 5-4 Tampa. With Doscal coming up. He got a hit last time up. His first in 5 trips. Big moment here now for the Mocs. They got to get out of here. The ground ball was to Relaford. It's short. I think he thought his only play was to first, and maybe he was right. It's hard to tell. Pitches outside for a ball, 1-0. Hard to tell. It was hit in the hole, and runners were moving, without a doubt. 1-0. Call strike, 1-1. Well, he's got to get him. Keep this close. Give the Mocs a chance in the bottom of the 10th. One on Doskow. Pitch is fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Saladino at third, Lala at second, and Urso at first. One ball, 2 strikes. Camrick ready, and a pitch. Fouled again right off his foot, and that doesn't feel real good. And he's trying to walk it off a little bit. Camrick still ahead in the count, of ball and 2 strikes. Mocs righty to the belt. 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Great curveball by Camrick. His 3rd strikeout, but in the 10th, the Spartans get a run. They do it on 3 base hits. There were no mock errors, and for the 2nd time in the game, the Spartans leave them loaded. Will it come back to haunt Tampa? We will see. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Mocs down 5-4. Heart of the order coming up on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Mocs had a 3-1 lead through 6. Tampa got it even in the 7th. Florida Southern went up in the bottom of the 7th. Tampa got it even in the 9th and have taken the lead by 1 here in the 10th. 5-4 Spartans, and the Mocs have the 3-4-5 batters in the order coming up. Kavanaugh, Safrowicz, and Berry. And if you are the Mocs, you can't want a whole lot more than that. Braden Nelson stays in the game. He has pitched 3 innings in relief and has pitched really well. Kavanaugh single, drove in a run, got hit with a pitch twice, scored once. So officially only 1 for 2. Nelson's first pitch is hit foul off the screen to our left. It's 0-1 here on Drew Kavanaugh. 5-4 our score. Nelson's pitch called strike, 0-2. Good pitch that time. I think Kavanaugh was looking fastball and got a curveball. 0-2 count. Pitch by Nelson, fouled right at home plate, and Kavanaugh stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes on the Mocs catcher. Florida Southern down to its final 3 outs. And Braden Nelson, who has done a really, really nice job in relief of Michael Paul, got a chance to try to close this thing out for his team. There is activity in the Spartans bullpen, though, just in case. 0-2. Check swing. Did he go? He did. They're going to ring him up for out number 1. 3 strikeouts now for Braden Nelson. 1 gone for the Mocs here in the 10th. So here's Sofrowicz. You had a home run in the 4th, a double in the 6th. Officially 2 for 4, that 2-run shot. Gave the Mocs that early 2-1 lead. And time is called. Joe Urso, the manager, heading to the mound. And I got a feeling we're going to get a pitching change. That's what it looks like. They are going to take Nelson out. And they're going to bring in what I assume will be their closer. And I think we will go ahead and take a break while the new pitcher comes in. We will tell you all about him when we come back. Mocs down by 1, 2 outs to go here in the bottom of the 10th on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Dalton Ross, a sidearm right-hander. You might be able to see him there. He's coming in trying to close it out. He's 1-1 with a 4.76, 8 appearances this year. He has 1 save. That does not look like the Spartans have a true closer. Ross has pitched 11 and a third innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. Walk 4, fanned 11. Opponent's batting average of .214 against him. But he is a vicious right-hander. And he is being called on to close it out here and try to get Braden Nelson the win.
For the Mocs, number 8, Bryce Sofrowicz.
So here's Sofrowicz. And he needs one, what he did in the 4th. Mocs are down to their final 2 outs. First pitch is a good curveball, 0-1. Sofrowicz was bailing on that one, and you can't blame him because he is coming from that side of the plate. 0-1. Stayed with it and fouled it. It's 0-2. Sometimes you just have to see a pitch. No balls, 2 strikes here on Sofrowicz. Ross ready. Chopper towards short. Urso got to come up firing and does for out number 2. So the Mocs are down to their final out, and it'll be Connor Berry coming up. Berry grounded out, popped out, single drove in a run, and struck out 1 for 4. And you can see why Urso brought him in. Mocs with right-handed batters.
Next up, number 30, Connor Berry.
Urso really wanted to have this side-arming right-hander against the right-handed hitters that the Mocs have. First pitch to Berry. Called strike, 0-1. Mocs down to their final out. Pitch to Berry. High pop-up. That ought to be caught and probably ended. Urso in short left field. He's waving everybody off. He makes the catch, and the Spartans win the game. And the Spartans celebrating out there, boy, like they just won the World Series. But they won a big one here tonight, no doubt about it, as they defeat the Florida Southern College Mocs in 10 innings by a final score of 5-4. A really, really good game here tonight on this alumni night. And the alumni going to go home a little unhappy. We're going to go ahead and take a break here. We'll come back, wrap things up in the postgame, get you set for doubleheader baseball tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock. The Mocs and these Spartans again. Tampa wins this game 1 here tonight by a final score of 5-4. Don't go away. We're back in 1 minute on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Well, a heartbreaker for the Mocs tonight, no question about it. Here on Alumni Night as part of homecoming weekend, Florida Southern looked like they had it. The Mocs got a big run in the bottom of the 7th inning to break a 3-3 tie. It started out 1-0 in favor of Tampa in the 4th. Mocs got 2 on the Safrowich home run in the bottom of the 4th, and then tacked on 1 in the bottom of the 6th to make it 3-1. Tampa got 2 in the 7th, but boy, in the bottom of the 7th, the Mocs got a base hit by Drew Cavanaugh, and it looked like that might be enough. Andrew Williamson had a good 8th inning, but in the 9th inning, Colin Camry gave up the tying run. And then in the 10th inning, the Spartans pushed across the winner. In the 9th, it was a sac fly by Santiago Garavito, the catcher, who got the tying run. And in the 10th inning, it turned out to be a single by shortstop J.D. Urso that turned out to be the winner for the University of Tampa. So the final totals, the Mocs 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They will leave on the Spartans, rather. 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They leave on 7. For the Florida Southern College Mocs, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They leave on 7. The winning pitcher is Braden Nelson. And for the year, Nelson now goes to 4-0. And Dalton Ross will get his second save. Colin Camrig takes the loss for Florida Southern. He falls to 1-1 overall. So a really, really tough night for the Mocs. Looked like they had it, and boy, in the bottom of the 9th, Jeff LeCurry's shot to right center field, it looked like that thing was all but out, and it wasn't. It was caught out there by Jordan Lala, and that may have given the Spartans the need or the emphasis that they needed. Tampa now goes to 18-4, 7-0 in Sunshine State Conference play. The Mocs are 16-6 and 3-1 in conference play. Well, we're going to have a doubleheader here tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. Again, the weather is a little dicey. It may be off and on. We'll see. But we hope you can join us then. For my producer, James Simpson, great job here tonight, James, throughout all of this. I'm Jim Henderson. A final score of 5-4. The Spartans win it here tonight in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Let's see if the Mocs can come back big tomorrow and win a doubleheader. We'll talk to you around 12:50 p.m. tomorrow right here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.